Dale, put on those lights, please.
Lights.
Are they on? They are on. Okay, put on the kitchen light. Let's see. It's off. On. Off. Okay, boy. Fine. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Hey, my internet suddenly is giving me issues. As usual, you guys have been talking to each other for the past 12 minutes or 11 minutes. Welcome, Puti, Mipei, Tulani, Troy, Gogo Ngwenyama. The usual suspects are here, Itumeleng, Toots. If it's your first time, let us know so we can welcome you. Do the thing, guys. Go to your link where you're watching, copy the link, paste it everywhere. My guest is already here. She's backstage. In fact, I found her here. She was already here when I was having my internet issues. And I think she's been a filmmaker, director, even longer than I've been. Stand-up comedian, writer. So we're going to talk to her just now. Her name is Gilli Apter. I hope I said it right. My auntie is here. I see the usual suspects are here. So I'm going to bring my guest. If you are not yet subscribing, please subscribe. Damarisberg KZN. If it's your first time, let us know. So I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to go to the YouTube live, copy the link, and then I'm about to share it everywhere. Now all I need is a picture of me and Gilli live. So guys, welcome my guest. Behave yourselves, guys, please. Hey.
Hey. Why are you telling people to behave themselves? Well, you know, what were you thinking was going to happen?
It goes down here, bro. This show.
I'm excited.
Can you see the comments on your right?
I can see them. Nothing crazy yet?
No, nothing crazy yet. I'll put the relevant ones on the screen.
Look at you, you're quite sophisticated.
I'll try and delete some. So this is my uncle who's been working in Paulsmore as a medical attendant or nurse for, I think, almost 30 years or more.
Wow.
Or 20. He's treated more than 100. That weird thing we won't mention on my show.
Oh, we don't mention it here. Okay, good.
With a number 19. You can call it whatever you want except what it is.
Okay, cool. You didn't. I'm glad you didn't warn me about that. I could have just come out with it, and then we would have, you know.
Yeah, then they would have cut my feed. It depends what you say about it.
There's my buddy Pakeng. Hi, Pakeng.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've also got friends, David. Okay.
Oh, okay. Bring them on. Tell them to come.
You know what I don't like about this application, this live stream, the StreamYard thing, is that it flips the image.
Are you reversed?
Yes, and it drives me crazy. You know, this is when you find out how symmetrical your face is not. It's hard for me to accept.
But then how does it see?
You see, like, I think I'm moving right now, but you guys, you know what? Let's not waste time on these things.
Yeah, no. So,
okay, I won't mention the
thing. How was your Thursday?
My Thursday was good. It was very busy. for the first part of it was very, very busy. I had to do like presentations to agency and client. I was like basically in a state of online presentation for 4 hours, and it was very like it like melts your
Online?
brain.
Was it all online?
Yeah. And then you're like, it's online, but nobody wants to turn their camera on. So I like to turn my camera on because I'm like, I'm not scared of you motherfuckers. So then I'm there, but no one, everybody else is these little circles, you know, like on Microsoft Teams, it's all little circles. So it's me and
And
like
their,
20 little tiny terrified circles. It makes me
and
feel
their
very
initials.
powerful when I put the video on.
And their initials.
Yes, yes, and the initials. And then you have to like guess. It's like Twister, but with no physical contact. It's not fun.
Are you allowed to talk about what you were pitching or what you were or not yet?
It's something for Hollard, but it's small. I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to say what it is, but it's like a series of ads, videos, ads, online stuff, and just takes a lot of people to get work done, you know.
Yeah. Do you know what stock is? You see, this says stock Salengam Legends. Do you have an idea
No,
what that means?
no,
So when guys have girls or are bringing girls, whether it's to a party or a bride,
yeah.
the other people or guys or even women will say, "Kiss Tokosa Davy." So let's say I come with you to a bride, but you're not my wife or anything,
So I'm
right?
stuck.
They're gonna say, "Kitlele stoko sangamla." Stoko sangamla means I brought a white woman stock.
Okay, got you. The stock part I understand.
So, so
I see.
if I arrived at a bride, let's say with two girls, one could be my girlfriend. People will say David utlele stock or David brought stock.
You know what's so funny? Do you know what's so funny about stock? Is that it gives the impression that there is a lot of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But I can have just one quantity, and
One unit of stock.
you can have one unit. You can
Do
still
you
be
ever do
stock.
stock taking at the end of the month?
So, but again, I also can't believe someone wrote that. That guy's supposed to be doing a PhD. The guy who wrote
Really? You see,
it.
this is where people come to be themselves, clearly.
So let's say there's about 76 people on here now.
Yeah.
I probably know 70.
Well, half of them are your cousins. There's Owen cow. There's all these cows. What? I
There's
mean,
my uncle, my aunt, my sister might show up. Then there's also, for the past 6-7 weeks, I've been doing this show. The audience every night is maybe 90% the same people.
oh,
So
cool.
maybe Monday to Saturday, let's say they each get like 4 or 5 out of 6 for 4 or 5 nights out of the 6 nights. But there are some that are, if we talk 2 hours and you and I and you want to go to bed, let me know, or an hour, whatever. But normally,
And people hang out. They hang out?
until 2 in the morning.
No ways, bro.
Yeah, and the numbers go up sometimes after like 11 p.m. or even after midnight.
That's crazy. I like that. I like it.
Very chilled.
Yeah, vibes.
Do you miss stand-up comedy?
You know, I didn't for a while, but that's because I was very busy. I was very preoccupied. Trying to help my parents with their business that was collapsing. And so I didn't really have time to think about anything. You know what I mean? I didn't have time to worry, to have thoughts, luxurious. Like I didn't have the luxury of thoughts. And in the last month, a bit more, I missed it more. Yeah, and I've got every day I have an idea, and you know how that is when you have an idea and you're like, because we get on stage every night, we have an idea that day, and then we like, oh, tonight I'm going to try that idea. And now I've got the idea, but I don't have anywhere to put it, you know? So I do miss it.
Do you know what super chats are?
No.
On YouTube. So
No.
people can basically give you money or send you money on YouTube.
You don't say.
So
Here I am fucking pitching commercials. What the hell am I doing?
So this comment says, "Welcome stock," and it's 35 bucks. And then,
Hey, look at me. I've been watching The Sopranos nonstop, and whenever the guys like get together and they're talking about trying to kill, they're gonna kill one of the guys. Whenever they discuss whether or not they're gonna like take out one of the guys, it's always like, but he's a good earner. So I feel like that's me now. I'm a good earner.
did your family pressure you to go in the family business before your film and acting?
Yes.
And
Well, I don't know about pressure, but my dad always wanted me to be in their business.
are you allowed to say what the business is?
Should I? I wonder if I should. Do you think people will think of me differently?
You shouldn't. They should. Unless you are selling coffins to take
No,
it.
you know what? I think let me not say what it is now, because what if I want to say something extreme and then I feel like I'm a representative? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then that's
Okay.
limiting. That's actually my, I think, a good answer. But my dad once told me, do you remember maybe like 15 years ago or maybe longer, like I was just in like at film school, and that brand new model Beetle came out. Do you remember when the VW Beetle came out? We had never seen that before, that thing.
The new one.
Beetle, yeah. The last Beetle we had seen was like from the 70s or the 60s, right?
Yeah.
And then that new model came out and it like just like blew everyone's minds. Okay.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that car, and my dad said to me, if you come work with me in the business for 2 years, I'll buy you the car. Okay. And I was like, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years. And I was like, okay. And then I wanted some details, then I was like, okay, wait, but then do I have to stay forever? Like, what happens if I decide like after a year that I no longer want to be in this business? Do I have to give the car back?
Yeah.
And he said no. He said no, you can keep the car.
And you didn't go.
David, I'm here today to tell you I did not take the I did not take the money or the box.
I think here they might judge you for not taking the car.
I know, but you know what, David? I'm not here to please people. This is not a popularity contest. I'm here to walk the line of love and hate.
And then what if someone says, what about the people? What about the people that have to walk to the taxi rank and get rained on?
No, you have to understand. You have to understand. I had a normal car. Okay? I had a car that my parents bought me. It was my first car that I'd had for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or whatever it was. I wasn't without a vehicle.
Yeah.
I was just going to be more privileged than before. It was an upgrade.
Is it strange that Black people always notice non-Black people or white people? So you just being a guest today, what's the name?
I hear you. There's a lot of acknowledgement of the whiteness.
Yeah. I mean, in general, I think it happens in general, right? Which then will come across in portions. So whether we're at a braai or we're on my show, or if we were playing golf and I
in this format, it's much more honest in this format.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If we go to a braai, then people are thinking it, but they're not saying it necessarily.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, oh, okay, there is that person, or you brought that person.
Is that car still available for anyone to work for your dad and take it? No, I hate to break it to you, but my dad's business is on the absolute brink of total destruction. So there's not even cars for the people who need cars to drive.
Is that because of the COVID lockdown, or?
Yeah, Yeah.
And is it a people-centered business? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
you have
Lots
to-
of people. Lots of people.
okay,
Lots of people.
that's sad, man.
I know.
It's so how do
It's very sad. It's very difficult.
yeah, how do you
Yeah.
feel about lockdown? So obviously, a lot of people supported lockdown. A lot of white business people that I knew,
Yeah.
businessmen who liked Cyril, supported almost whatever decision he was making.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he had come out and said, South Africa, I've thought about this thing, fuck lockdown, we're not locking down, we're gonna save the economy, they would have said, nice one, Cyril. He came out and said, guys, 2 weeks stay home, then 3 weeks lockdown, then 2 weeks, and they were like, nice one, Cyril. And then came the cigarette wars and the alcohol and the levels. Once it went to levels, everything went to shit. So
I don't even know. You know when you playing the game on the levels, and now you don't even remember what the game, which game. I don't know what game this is anymore. But I will say that my dad didn't oppose the lockdown. He thought it was
yeah.
necessary.
And then what do you think? So what did
He
you
was
think?
not like, his stance was not like, fuck, every man for himself. He was I think in favor of the lockdown. But now no one's in favor of anything. None of us have good options here. I feel like Cyril had a good run for a while. Like I feel like we were winning. We were winning the game, and it felt good to beat America at something for a change. Like I felt like we were winning, and now I feel like we're losing.
Yeah.
So it's in the beginning, it was very hard to tell, but I was very much in support of all the moves in the beginning, and now there's still some things I'm in support of. Like I agree with this alcohol ban. I think it's right.
Yeah. Are you from the UK or Finland? Huh?
This is great. This is I'm actually half. I'm half. I'm half UK. 1/4 Finnish, and 1/4 smoked salmon. That's my heritage. I've done a 23andMe. I did a genetic test. They said I was 1/4 smoked salmon.
So I don't know if I have this on my YouTube channel. I doubt. So myself and Kagiso went to Finland, I think 2013 or 2015, to the stand-up Turku. Can you hear me? I can't hear you anymore.
Sorry, I accidentally muted the mic.
Oh, okay. So myself and Kagiso went to stand-up Turku in Finland. And
when you say Kagiso, you mean Zakirto Zakirto Zakiki.
Yeah, so we land, it's like 3 degrees. We put our bags in the room, we go straight to the shops to buy all these things to keep us warm. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we were the only black people in Turku. So we landed in Helsinki and then a 2-hour drive to Turku. So for like 3-4 days, we were the only black people in the entire town. There was one show where there was one black guy.
He was like the ambassador.
Nigeria. So when this guy says, "Are you from Finland?" So first of all, everyone in Finland, every woman in Finland looks like Khaleesi from the.
Oh, right. Like blonde in the eyes.
Everyone. And I remember my opening line. We used to be you people are so white. You must be the cure for AIDS.
What does that even mean?
Because normally, black people would get AIDS, and then
Jesus, that's such an evil joke.
so you're almost going in reverse. No, like my set there was hectic. I had this joke because their population was about 5 million, and I was like, if there had to be a war, we can just bring only taxi drivers from South Africa stealing at the border, saying, if you do not give us the cure, we will release 2 liters of weed every hour. I have hectic sets when I travel. They like,
that's what I want to do. I want to travel and do stand up.
yeah, no. If I was performing, if you were South African and you saw me
Now I
performing,
can't hear you. Why can't I hear you?
fuck, the internet has been shit also. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
It's weird. It does that thing, you see, and then you came back, and then my mic got muted. But it's fine. It mustn't. It will. We will continue.
Yeah,
You know
no.
what the show, Dave?
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm under pressure.
no. No one is under pressure. Not the guest.
Feels relaxed. Feel like there's time. Everybody seems like they're just here to hang out. It's great.
Did you ever do like a guest spot at Black Songly? You've done like a 5, right?
No. I and
asked you for 5 for hours and hours, but not actually got it on.
But there was a show where you were going to. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I know there was a show I had agreed, but I can't remember. Oh, you were in Cape Town. I can't remember.
Where are you? There, you're back. No, you're not. Can everybody hear us?
Guys, my internet has gone to shit and I'm using my mobile data, so I'm not sure now what else I need to do.
You know what? You just need to pray at this point. Is that fire real or is it on a screen?
It's real. All I do in my life, I buy wood, I buy bread. What else do I do? I buy wood and I buy bread. That's all I've been doing during lockdown. Since lockdown. So March, April was okay. Then it started getting cold and I started buying wood. Previously, I used to just every 3-4 days going to buy bread. Yeah. It started out as 2 loaves of brown bread.
Yeah.
Then it became 2 loaves of brown bread and white bread. Then I had a thing against brown bread for like, I think 3 days. And then we went white. And then I was like, I can't. And then I went back to brown bread.
This is a real journey of bread.
Yeah. So
a journey of carbohydrates.
My kids chow a lot of bread.
But it's very low maintenance, that bread and wood, You could survive in the wild, I think, if needs be.
Well, brown bread, peanut butter and jam, or peanut butter and syrup sometimes. And tea.
It's become quite clear for me that I would not last very long in any kind of severe environment. Not that I ever thought I would, but it's become even clearer than it was before. And what amazes me is that I've been quite, I'm surprised at how okay I am not leaving the house for long periods of time. And it's quite unusual because I'm always out.
Have you been working?
Yeah.
All film stuff, directing stuff, or are you doing
mostly? And then like in the beginning, we were doing those videos.
Yeah.
We were doing videos for many weeks, and now I've stopped doing them completely. I've like completely lost my energy for them. It's like something broke in my brain, and I just couldn't do them anymore.
How long was it taking you to produce? So guys, we were doing 1 to 2 minute videos every day for the 21-day lockdown for Gauteng and culture. So I would wake up. Remember, I wanted them the night before, and I think I did that the first 2 or 3, and then I couldn't. So I would wake up and wait and see what happens with my kids.
See, you've got a cast at home. I had to think of ideas.
So my videos started coming at like 2, 3 p.m.
Yeah, me too. It started getting later and later and later and later. One day I missed one, actually. But I have to say, like, it was important. Like, in the beginning, because I was also, like, I was experiencing so much anxiety at the time, it really took a lot of focus for me to, like, think and work and just do that thing once a day. Because I had such extreme anxiety. But what it did do was made me focus the energy away from the anxiety for that time and do the thing and produce it and put it out. And it was a very important, powerful thing in getting me through those first few weeks, you know?
Yeah. And then what made you stop? Do you think you were doing it?
You know, I carried on a bit. I was doing some other videos. I did, Tats and I started doing a series that hopefully we're going to carry on. But I think what made me stop, like, I think I haven't posted something for like a few weeks. And every time I look at it, I'm like, ugh. You know, when you're like, you need to give something attention. But like, I don't know what it is. It's like I can't bring myself to be whoever I need to be funny in a way that's permanent or something. Like, I can't. It feels like everything feels much more serious now. Everything feels much more severe and grave. You know what I mean? Like,
when do you think stand-up comedy live shows will be back?
Well, when the thing started, I thought like maybe end of the year, and then soon after lockdown started, I was like, nah, not before next year.
Yeah, I've always thought next year.
Yeah.
And then some people had hopes and ideas.
No,
and now are starting to be like.
I very quickly was like, no. That's not going to happen. And I've been speaking to a friend of mine who, I went on tour with 2 comedians last year in Europe, and she is an Australian comedian. He's an American comic, and she's from Australia, so she's been in lockdown in Australia for a couple of weeks. But now she's gone to Berlin, where she used to live and where we performed the last time that I saw her. And she's gone back to Berlin to perform and to do gigs, and they're working. I know a comedian, a Swiss comedian as well. I can see him doing gigs. I'm like, what's happening here? He's like, yeah, we're back. And he says that the feeling in the room is like people are laughing, but they're not. He's like, I can tell that those jokes aren't that good, but people are laughing out of like some kind of weird tension.
Yeah.
You know, and he says like the Swiss are like, and you know, if you've been to Switzerland, it's like just wealth on another level. They're like, he says, you could, like, the Swiss just are so out of touch with the rest of the world. It's like it's such a severely privileged country, you know.
I think 10 years ago, homeless people there used to earn about 19,000 rand. Like 10 years ago. Women used to pay homeless people equivalent of about 19,000 rand. So now it must be 30 or 40.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's parts of Europe, you know, that are like that.
Yeah.
This could be us, but
that we're playing.
So this could be us, but you decided to dig graves.
You know what? It could never be us.
So if, let's say stand-up goes away, I know you've got the option to direct or write, but if you were desperate and all you had was stand-up comedy, and it's not happening for another 2 years, what jobs are you willing to do? So I'll make you an
Like
example.
random jobs.
I'm willing to deliver packages just purely because I have a car.
Yeah.
My wife's car. If you call and say, "Hey, Mdeva, I'm doing PPE, boy. I need to deliver gloves and I'm a mask." If we agree on a fee, I'll rock up, pick up, and go and deliver. That I would do even tomorrow. You don't have to tell
100%.
me 2 years of no stand-up.
I'm
So
in
have
for
you-
this delivery business. Do you want to start it? Because
I
I'll
wanna,
tell you something. Woolworths
buy-
has got a massive backlog. You what?
I want to buy motorbikes like the
Oh,
Uber.
no. I'm not willing to risk my life for...
Not for me.
Oh, I
To
see.
hire-
You want to start a business. Oh, for somebody else to risk their life, not just on you.
Well, if you look at the Uber model and the delivery guys with motorbikes, the motorbikes are probably better turnaround, less maintenance.
Yeah.
I've seen a few fall, hey? Like
I was going to say, yeah.
some right in front of my car while I'm driving.
No.
Behind. And they just fall. Like
No, I can't. Mm-mm.
they just fall. Like not in an accident, by themselves.
Just like those people who have one leg a little bit shorter than the other and they trip often.
So Gogo Ngwenyama is a traditional healer or a sangoma.
Great. Look at this. Telling us the future.
He's one of those people who watch the show 4 or 5 nights a week. And she says things will go back to normal next winter.
It's a long time, but you know what? About those scooters. You know what I said? I said at the beginning of lockdown. I saw my own tweet recently, and I thought, yes, this is correct. We have to behave like this is going to take a year, and we have to feel like it's going to end next week. That's how we get through it.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Hi, Ntenya. Our own Ntenya, a huge
Ntenya from Kenya. I like that.
Ntenya from Kenya is a stand-up comic living in LA. But I think she was born in Kenya. Her parents are from Kenya. Aisha Alpha introduced me to her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we were supposed to, she does a lot of sketches, comedy sketches, but she's never posted them anywhere. So we were supposed to plan a night where we're gonna.
Oh, great! Yeah, we want to see that.
Sketch. Aisha is gonna bring a sketch, and then we're gonna launch them. And then I think my head went sideways. But the time difference was kicking our ass. Like I would go to start chatting on the thing, and then I wake up and they're sleeping. It's true.
Is this for real?
So I'm trying the South African that's living in the US.
That's now. Let me just check the exchange rate. It's like 40,000 rand. That's 9.99.
Oh wow! You've met Aisha?
Yes. It's so funny with comedians, comedians will make such a strong impression. So I met Aisha like once, I think, and she came to the Goliath Club. She came to the club in Melrose like must be more than a year ago. And I think I met her once, maybe one night, maybe another night. And like so memorable.
Yeah.
So memorable.
We met at Just for Laughs in Montreal, and we were in the same.
Oh, cool.
We're in the same special that year.
Oh wow, great.
You know To Me Stop Nonsense, right?
Yes.
Do you like him?
What kind of a question is that to ask me? I mean, the truth is, I don't know To Me Stop Nonsense very well.
He's a nice guy.
So I always start from like until somebody upsets me, you know.
Yeah.
I like to start at 100 and let the person remove the points themselves.
that's
You know,
amazing.
but I imagine I didn't like to me stop nonsense, and then you ask me that question, and I would have to be honest, and I'd have to say no.
I think we must maybe apps. We must have apps, or even this type of apps
Yeah.
or streaming that do that. While you're like doing a live with a person, Instagram, this.
It tells you
Facebook,
there's like a little meter here on the side, and it's like
that's
Gilli enjoys you 42%.
yeah.
And you see if it rises throughout the show, or it goes like, you know.
Have you directed? Are any of your commercials or stuff on YouTube?
Not on YouTube, but on Vimeo.
Okay.
It's not a lot of great stuff, you know. I mean, since we're being honest, like I wouldn't go watch it. Like it's not that great, honestly.
What do you enjoy the most, directing or stand-up comedy?
I enjoy stand-up comedy more than the stuff that I get to direct. But when I'm directing something that I love, when I'm directing comedy, I'm as happy as when I'm doing stand-up.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't get to do that every day. Like I don't get to do that for a living.
Yeah. I want to see if Ntenya wants to say hi, because when I did our interview, we were not live. And so it's kind of like a different feeling, you know?
Yeah.
When like I'm asking her if she wants to say hi, but in my head, I feel like I've asked her if she wants to join and come into your bedroom.
Yes, we know that's what's in your head. Don't worry. That surprises no one.
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm like,
sure. Now Jimmy thinks that you don't like him.
no, Timmy knows I secretly like him. Secretly, I love him. I think he's great.
That's
Publicly,
secret.
Publicly, WhatsApp groups, I just tell everyone how shit he is, or I tell him how shit he is.
Wow, that's great. You know, my grandfather once told me that the second more than one person knows a secret, it's no longer a secret.
Okay, this is. Oh, okay. She has to go. Yeah, no, it's an excuse. I know it's an excuse.
Do you think she's scared?
Yeah.
Jenny, are you scared? Don't be scared.
So part of the mission here, right, is to convert people that watch from Facebook to all come to YouTube so that I can get more views and eventually start making some money.
So is this on Facebook Live now as well?
This is on both YouTube and Facebook, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
what we can really do is get people to watch my YouTube and just skip you. And David, in that plan, you're called what's known as a middleman.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. Gilli Apter Comedy. Go check out my. I've put some of my videos that I did on there, and my videos with Tuts, my series with Tuts called This Is Why. Go check it out. It's very.
Can we watch a little bit of it?
No.
I can look it up. So what you gonna get a YouTube comedy strike, YouTube strike or copyright strike from my channel, and then you let me say it's okay, he can use it. Otherwise, I'm gonna see my ass.
Oh, okay. So what do I do? Do I go on my thing?
I think they'll send you an email or something.
An email, you say?
Not now, like okay, I'll subscribe.
Oh, I see.
Is that the right channel? What do you want us to watch?
Let's see what's there. This is going to be a vibe. I can tell you right now, it's going to be a vibe. Let's watch. Go to. Oh, there's so much good shit here. Forgot. Okay, do you want to see what the whites are saying, or do you want to see This Is Why with Tuss? We can watch a little bit of whichever.
Okay, let's watch a little bit of this.
Let's say she's not a racist. Delete the tweets. Let's say she is a racist. Delete the tweets.
White Twitter never knows about black Twitter until it's too late. You can't leave two white girls to discuss hip-hop unsupervised.
Literally nothing has changed for cockroaches. Nothing.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to This Is Why. I'm Gilli Apter.
And I'm Tatsin Gonzo.
I would scroll a little bit later in this, because this was a current event. We want to get to the main part of the video, which is like...
By another of the residents that, quote, nobody liked Arnold anyway.
A little bit later?
Oh, no, I definitely don't quote.
That's a smart move, Gilli.
Unlike Bianca Tyson.
Yeah, okay, go a bit further back. Go a bit further back. We'll go a bit further back in there.
Not to be mistaken with the famous...
This is good, yeah. There we go.
You Jewish people love your parents, huh?
This is good.
This week, Miss SA hopeful Bianca Scumbi, not to be mistaken with the famous comedian at Scumbi, came under fire for racist tweets she posted in 2014 when she was 14 years old. One of the tweets that sparked outrage was, and I quote, oh no, I definitely quote.
That's a smart move, Gilli.
Unlike Bianca Tats, I'm older, I'm wiser, and I am terrified of black Twitter.
As you should be, my dear. But how did she not know, though?
White Twitter never knows about black Twitter until it's too late. Ask Adam. 1 minute you're there on a beach, sunny skies, not a black tweet in sight. And next thing you know, you're on black Twitter and your life is over. Bianca went to sleep as a Miss SA 2020 hopeful. And while she was asleep, black Twitter bent the laws of physics. And the poor girl woke up in 2014.
I'm just like, why didn't she delete the tweets? She's entering Miss SA. Let's say she's not a racist. Delete the tweets. Let's say she is a racist. Delete the tweets. It's a competition. Surely you study on what you need to do to win the thing that you want to win. Not even a year ago, actually. A black woman with natural hair won the thing that you want to win now. And then she went on to win it in the universe. Where now you still don't delete the tweets. They want to delete the tweets.
That seems so obvious, doesn't it? But it's only obvious to you, okay? That's a mistake we all make time and time again. We think everyone knows what we know.
So what do the whites know, Gilli? What are the whites saying?
I don't know how to tell you this, Chats. The whites aren't saying anything.
Because they're racist.
No, because they don't know anything about this. White people stopped watching Miss SA when white women stopped winning Miss SA.
Because they're racist.
No. Yes. Look, here's what I can tell you. Bianca Scumbi is more racist than she thinks she is and less racist than everybody else thinks she is.
I think I got it, but just say that again.
Bianca Scumbi is more racist than she thinks she is and less racist than everybody else thinks she is.
If you're right, I think that's the reason why everything is happening the way it's happening, actually.
If I'm right. Everything you are sure you know about white people, they have no fucking clue about themselves.
And on it goes.
Did you guys write a lot, or you just...
No, we write every word.
Okay.
Yeah, we sit together, we talk about something like that we're interested in, we bounce it around, and then we write. We spend more time writing than shooting the thing.
I love how Top just came out during lockdown with all the videos and his kids.
Yeah,
and
And
the awesome
really
stuff.
Focused his energy.
Fuck, he was just producing hot shit. Eh?
I just think like this is you have to embrace the medium. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a servant of comedy, so I don't want to like jackknife stand up into this thing. This thing is designed for something, and we must embrace it. You know, so making videos is the right thing to do. That's the format we're in. You know.
Yeah. Will you ever consider making a living or most of your living for just online or like YouTubes and TikToks and all that jazz?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm trying, but I'm not succeeding because I'm struggling to commit, you know. It's Gilli Apter with an E.
Where? IE?
Apter.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Have I been spelling
Thank
it
you
wrong?
for putting it up. Yeah. That's my stage name for blacks only. I don't mean the comedy show. I mean for blacks only.
Where did you study film after?
At Apter.
Were there more black students or white students at the time?
Good question. I don't know. I think it's weird that I don't know the answer to this. Normally, I would know the answer to this. I don't know the answer to this. Maybe more white students?
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about, we stopped talking. We were talking about the thing of like the race thing coming up.
Yeah.
It's such a funny thing. So we had, now I can't tell you what happened in my meeting today because I told you who the client was. And so now I can't tell you what the funny thing was that they said.
You didn't tell me who the client was. You just said agency.
No, I did.
Should we invite Mojak? Accept? You think Mojak will accept?
Accept what? Like?
If we invite him to the show.
You know, Mojak is his own man. We can't speak for him. We can't predict his behavior. He might say yes, he might say no, and he'll be well within his rights, regardless.
I have to say, he's one of those guys who take their fucking time to like respond to a WhatsApp message or.
Yes,
like
I will agree. But that's why I tell you, he's his own man, and we can't predict his behavior.
Let me try him. He might be on a PlayStation.
I think he accidentally posted that comment here. And now he's in deep regret.
Well, I hope it's him.
Oh, do you think it's a hacker? I think it's somebody posing as Mojak.
And Elon Musk's and them getting hacked, but all the people did was, I'm going to give you Bitcoin.
I didn't know they were getting hacked.
Oh, yeah, no, their accounts got hacked yesterday.
Elon Musk's account.
Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Kanye West.
Which accounts got hacked? Their social media.
Twitter, yeah.
That is incredible.
No. But all the hacker said was, you guys, I'm going to, like Kanye, they said, I'm going to give away $10 million in Bitcoin.
And they were like, oh, geez, why didn't you just say so? Ooh, we were worried for a second.
But don't worry, I'll find it. Here's how I roll on this show.
With your research team.
Yep. So let's see the best source, maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, these are the cool dudes who got hacked.
Wow.
Okay, hopefully I don't get any copyright strikes and yada yada. Let's see.
Earlier today, 4 incredible people got their accounts hacked. There, I did the report.
4 incredible people.
4 bastions of American society were attacked by a faceless hacker.
Oh wow.
The only thing they had in common was money.
Who influenced your becoming a director or even a comedian?
That's a good question. Shit, I don't know. Oh, it's up there. I thought you were asking me that question. Who are my influences? You know, my influences are all the comedy that I used to watch when I was growing up, and all of that stuff was like, you know, those movies like National Lampoon and like we used to watch those things fucked up at home. And anything with Steve Martin in it, like the Three Amigos and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and all those kinds of movies, and Coming to America, all those, like all the like late 80s and early 90s comedies were the things that like shaped my flavor for comedy and entertainment.
Yeah. And did you always know you want to do stand-up?
I think I always knew I wanted to do it, and I just didn't have the guts to do it. So I did it in all the other ways, you know?
The writing and the directing.
Yeah. Because I've never wanted to write or direct anything that wasn't comedy, you know?
Come here. Come on. I see you've maintained using condoms and contraception very well.
I have, thank you. I see you have not. Hello, it's 11 o'clock. Are you also up watching hours and hours of Sopranos?
Oh, that really? Stop making noise. Why? What do you guys want?
I need to switch off this internet off and not else let's come.
Just speak properly.
Oh, you're speaking so fast, I can't hear a word you say.
What are you saying? What's wrong?
May I please switch off the internet? So Derek can stop screaming.
What?
Can I please switch off the internet so Derek can stop screaming in a pillow because he's angry?
You know, I recognize this. I recognize this behavior. This is overtired craziness. Look at those giggles. Look at that. That's a child who's overtired and is now going to be in a state of hysteria. I understand what you're going through. I want you to know that.
Go. Let me switch it off. So I'm on my mobile data because our Wi-Fi, somebody started for some reason, just gave in. And it's been perfect.
So the kids are going crazy.
Well, now there's nothing for them. There's no laptop. There's no phone.
It's 11 o'clock. It's bedtime for them.
No, they're going to go to sleep now because they don't have a choice now.
No.
Go quiet. Bye-bye. Go.
I love what happens to children's brains when you like take their technology away. They're like,
my son loses it. If you say no or the thing doesn't do what he wants it to do, he loses it. But I like now, for instance, we've had load shedding, which is for us, it's about 4.5 hours, right?
Mm.
So secretly, I'm like, they can do do either go play outside or read a book.
I read a book earlier.
What book was it?
I'm reading Ali Wong's book.
What's it called?
It's called, I've forgotten what it's called. It's called Dear Girls. It's called Dear Girls. It's basically in the format of like she's writing letters to her daughters.
So
it's
what
really
we
good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's so honest. She's so honest.
Have you seen her specials?
Yeah, I love her specials. I love them.
I met her in, I think I have a picture with her. I met her, Tom Segura
Real.
introduced me to her in LA
Really? What was she
Yeah.
like?
at the comedy store.
Damn.
What's the popular one? The Comedy Store.
I think so. In
Yeah.
LA. Yeah.
Yeah. She's cool. I think she was even with her husband, so she kind of rolls with him all the time.
Yeah, she does. She tours with her kids as well. She talks about it in the book.
That's
And her
Would you-
husband sells merch for her outside all her shows.
that's how you have to do this. My wife
Yeah.
used to do it. So my wife used to sell my DVDs and my merch sometimes. But I think when I had a DVD or when I was still selling, I did
I
this
remember
job.
you selling DVDs out of the boot of your car. And if anyone in the audience thinks that was when, Dave was small time, the car was a Range Rover. I just want to remind everyone. It was very confusing. It was a very confusing time.
Fuck me. Because for me, I think that's what almost kept me sane. Eh?
What?
I lived my life like a lot of things didn't really matter.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
so when they are not there, then there's not much difference.
That's really, I think you've just said something like profound about lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's
Like I've
actually
sold my
profound.
Range, I've sold my BMW convertible that I had for like 14 years.
Wow.
And I miss them. In fact, tonight we were supposed to talk about Black people and money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who knew?
So we'll probably jump into that and our spending habits, right? Because yesterday we were
Right.
talking about, there was a time we spoke about the Take a Lot coffin. And Take a Lot is now selling coffins online.
Wow.
You couldn't have missed that.
Okay, I did.
It was trending. We did an hour and a half on that, on the show.
Wow.
So Kagiso KG said,
Mokhari.
it was hilarious, bro. He's like, first of all, like he broke it down. He's like, the material is wardrobe material.
That's such a KG thing to do.
There's an auntie who's got the key, who normally keeps the key to the wardrobe.
Wow. We
I was
reached a
like,
new level
I'm not
of
gonna fit in that fucking coffin. So, but then he started basically said, this is for white people because black people are not going to buy a coffin for 4,000 rand. I think it's 3.9.
right.
And so, wow, that range has been to places. Eh? Driving to go and pay $100 DVD.
That's so funny.
So I would
Yeah.
have people call me, even the taxi ride DVDs. People would call me and I'd leave my house and go meet them at like McDonald's or something.
You should have been a drug dealer. Your talents are wasted.
Listen, it's not too late, eh?
No, it's not. Yeah, I agree. Now you don't need to sell drugs. You can just sell alcohol.
And a whole lot of things.
Oh wow!
Oh, look who it is.
Mr.
Hello,
Mojak,
everyone.
Hi.
one of the
How
black
are
surnames
you?
I've struggled to pronounce.
Lehoko.
Lehoko. I say Lehoko.
It's one of the easier ones to pronounce. Things could have been a lot harder when I entered.
I will
this
tell you
chat.
from my experience, it is one of the easier ones to pronounce.
Yeah, for sure. I can
From
agree with that.
a professional pronunciation perspective,
So guys,
How's
Mojak
everyone doing?
is
Yes.
a stand-up comedian. You can say hi. There's like a bunch of people here. They're here every night.
Hello,
Some
everyone.
might have seen you on Black Only, Comedy Central.
Possible.
You could be a Nick Cannon for Comedy Central,
Well, yeah, well, I mean, that's tricky because he's in a lot of trouble for anti-Semitism, which
Well,
makes sense. Gilly, this isn't a
Who's Nick
mistake that you're
Cannon?
here.
well,
You don't know Nick. You don't know Nick Cannon.
No, you know, Jews
he does well
only
enough.
know Jews only know the very important Jew haters. You know, we don't waste time with the small time guys. You know, we only pay attention depending on whether we think you are physically dangerous to us on a mass scale. Then we start to take notice. You know,
Who's the equivalent of Nick Cannon?
Listen, Nick
Shoot.
Cannon. Nick
I just
Cannon.
assume he's a sportsman or like somebody in sports when I don't know who somebody is.
No, Nick
He's like
Cannon is
the Ashifa Shaba of America. Sketch show. Like, I'm just trying to use a reference everyone understands. I don't know.
guys. Nick Cannon was married to and had twins with Mariah Carey.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
Yeah, remember?
I know Mariah very well.
I've heard of Mariah.
Mojak, you have a YouTube channel, right?
I do. It's in its infancy because, like most comedians, we were like, "Screw the internet. Internet is nothing."
We're never gonna need the internet.
And then pandemic was like, "Okay, where are you going to talk to your people?" so so now we're all panicking, doing weird things on the internet. Hi guys, look at me cook with aromat. It's like you never did that. Not in that golf estate.
How we had what is forsook a word? How we forsook the internet, and now look at it embracing us.
My son.
What language is that?
My son will probably say forsook.
Forsook, like forsaken, like the
Yeah, the past tense of forsaken.
yes.
My son will
Oh,
definitely. I have.
You know what I was
forsook.
thinking? Sorry because I was thinking earlier, like, because David, your kids go to good schools, right? So that mistake is not a bad mistake. It's just a bad mistake in that price bracket. You know what I mean? It's like, if someone spoke like that, it's like, that's not an issue. We understand what they're saying. But for the money you're paying, it's like, no, my friend, you can't forsook here.
So we took them out
At that price. Never.
My son was on. Okay, let me not mention the school fees, but so my kids were in a homeschooling system from the beginning of this year. So not only because of COVID, so my kids were already out of traditional, but I mean they've been there all their lives until this year. And use condoms, guys. That's.
I hear that a lot, you know.
Mojak, the moment your woman says she's no longer on contraception, you must start taking contraception. Trust me.
You know what's great about my household? My partner's like, I don't want kids. Please put that thing on. Then I'm like, okay, cool. She's just like, please don't interrupt my life. I'm doing cool,
She's not having
stuff
any
away.
of it.
Yeah. So I'm very safe.
Mojak, your dad used to, may his soul rest in peace. Your dad had pigeons, right?
Yes.
Trained pigeons.
Yes.
That you could use to send messages and stuff. Or
No.
like
No. Okay, now you're making my dad sound like he lived in the 1600s. No.
The leg.
Yeah, when Mojak was at school, that's how he texted girls. He would send a pigeon.
I was like, when my Nokia pigeon arrives, you know what time it is.
It's so funny because I've got a whole joke about this. Oh
What
God,
do
I hate talking about jokes when we can no longer do them. You know,
you should. It's the only way to
that's sad.
free yourself, basically.
To get it out. What were you asking about pigeons, David?
What were they trained for? Racing.
Okay, so I'll tell you. There's two people in my life who own pigeons. First, there was my brother. He used to sell them, and then they would fly back to him because they're homing pigeons. They fly back to where they are born, right? So he would sell them to someone, they'd fly back, then he'd sell
Genius.
a different color one to someone else.
Genius.
And he just had this racket of like 6 pigeons he rotated amongst like 30 people. Okay, there's the first person. Then my father, he had racing pigeons. Again, homing pigeons fly back to where they're born. So they are born at a certain place, then you take them a kilometer away, then they fly back, then 2 kilometers. And they learn the route over time. Eventually you tag them and you enter them into a race. In fact, in South Africa, there's a R1 million race for racing pigeons. Like they release them at Sun City, they fly back to their coop. When they arrive at the coop, the tag they have on like their ankles records their time. And that's how you figure out who the winner of the race is. So he was starting to do well, actually. He was in the Pinelands Association, was winning some really cool prize money. It's a crazy world. People breed pigeons. People will buy a pigeon for 25,000 rand. He wasn't in that world.
One pigeon?
Yeah, one pigeon to breed with other pigeons. It's a crazy world. It's wild.
You couldn't even pay me 25,000 rand to be next to a pigeon. I've got a pigeon phobia unlike anything you've ever seen before. If you've ever sat with me in a restaurant and a pigeon flies in, I start behaving like how pigeons behave. You know, like I get all like jumpy and jittery and I can't sit there. I'll be sitting at a restaurant with you. If I spot the pigeon before you've spotted it, what you're going to see is me just getting up and bolting.
A pigeon? Why?
I can't explain it. It's a phobia. I am like disgusted by this, even the sight of a pigeon. If it gets close to me, I'm dead. If a fucking pigeon comes in this room right now, I'm jumping out. I'm going out the same window that it came in from.
That's wild. No, we got used to them. We had to inoculate them sometimes, like give them vaccines and stuff.
No way.
Like during school. Yeah, they get diseases. They get eaten by birds when they fly. There's lots of crazy things. You can lose a pigeon to like a hawk on the way back to its coop.
We have hawks? When did we get hawks?
Hawks are everywhere, but you can't see them. There's lots of things we can't see because
that's the kind of bird I respect, a bird that I can't see.
You can't see a lot of birds, guys. We're on land. There's lots of that's like when last you saw a crocodile. I mean now you're just
I will say my phobia extends to almost anything with wings, really.
Wings. What don't I like with wings? Red Bull. I'll be here all week. I won't. I definitely will not.
No, you won't. Not with jokes like that.
What were you guys talking about? David's putting people to sleep here.
You know, yeah, all kinds of boring things.
No, I mean as in his kids, not people, his kids. Sorry, that was vague.
I took it for what I thought it meant, you know.
Dave, I think your mic is muted. Mojak versus Questa in voice. Yeah.
And then I think he probably tried to read a comment or something.
Bounced by mistake. Look, that's what happens, you know.
Yeah, he's back. I guess you don't like competition, huh?
No, normally I use my laptop.
He went to go battle Questa immediately. Like the second he heard that, he was like, "I gotta go find this guy."
I'll take him. I was like, Google, where is Questa? Google, where is Questa? At home.
Bring him to me.
Are you gonna take over your dad's business, or is your brother gonna take it?
He didn't have a business. My dad was like semi-retired. He was like a commissioner. He gave up those birds long ago. Those birds are long gone.
Gave up that bird race life in his youth.
Yeah, he was like, I'm tired of this thug life, and so he gave away the birds.
People still talk of him to this day.
No, I didn't know this, right? About some funeral homes or funeral parlors. I think I saw this at HP's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
At the Bears Node Cemetery, whichever one that is.
West Park.
West Park. So
yeah.
At the funeral, as your coffin is being lowered, or not your coffin, as the coffin is being lowered,
sure.
But they announced we will now release white doves, right? And I didn't know this. So I guess in your package you pay so that they're also gonna be like 12 doves. Or
They fly,
18.
do they
That
fly
they're gonna-
back to?
I found out.
See, that's how you get 'em.
Non-refundable pigeons.
Homing pigeons, yo. They just come home. Well, the ones that don't get eaten by hawks.
They release the pigeons, white pigeons, they fly and whatever, and sort of circle once or twice, and then they fly. And then I didn't know this. They pretty much go back to
Yeah.
when the funeral parlor. So it's the same pigeon.
Exactly. Just the gift that keeps on giving. That's what
You're
they call them,
renting. You
man.
have to remember that you're renting those pigeons. You're never buying a pigeon.
It's a lease.
I didn't know that.
It's a short-term lease.
Yeah, it's a lease.
I don't know if you can answer this question, Mojak.
How do I get rid of black crow that just sits on my window
Now
every
you've
day?
become the authority for birding.
Yeah, man, I'm not Dr. Doolittle. I said my dad had pigeons. I don't like communicate with. Just see me walking around talking down Alsatians. Relax, police dog. Things have changed. Like, why are there crows on your window? Also, where do you live that there are crows? This is
Yeah.
the most bizarre thing.
Mordor.
Just get a scarecrow in the passenger seat. That's how you fix that.
Mojak, how much of your time
Crow.
you spend gaming and actually working from home? Or are you making money from your gaming?
No, I'm not making money from gaming, but a lot of my time is spent doing that.
The other day I saw
Why don't you just YouTube it?
I saw a competition for,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but it's relevant just
Sure.
to this point. I saw a competition for, you can win like $5,000 playing Tetris, but I couldn't figure out how to enter the competition.
Oh yeah, it's interesting for me, right? Because everyone's streaming now. I've been following like video game streamers for a while, like for 2 years, because I've been very fascinated by how they operate. And so
Right.
basically they're on Twitch and they're doing what you're doing, but while they're playing video games and they're in chats and they have very big audiences. The problem is that I think, with all due respect to South Africans, I don't think we have that market of people who have access to video games, have that data, and are willing to consume that on a regular basis because it's subscription based.
I
You
know
pay to
one,
be
Yeah.
my son, Deo Graciacao,
Mm.
and like I fight with him. Like I've banned him from YouTube because all he does is watch other YouTubers playing games. But that's also because he wants to do it. Right? And I said to him he could. So I must still like set up a little room,
Yes.
put cameras, and then it's one of the reasons I wanted him homeschooled, was so that we can do whatever kind of works or whatever makes sense to the ADDH brain.
But also, all kids are obsessed with watching other kids do stuff
Sure.
online now.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like, there's guys like Ninja.
Yeah, that's your guy with the crow.
Colin. Yo, Sun City. That's bizarre. You know, once. Oh, I don't know if I can tell the story, but there used to be a gig at Sun City, and then
I
like
did a gig at Sun
the
City
first time you
recently.
go. Ours was a while ago at like one of those weird bars they have there. So the first time you obviously go, you're meeting the staff for the first time. Then after a while, you get to chat to them like the second time or the third time. And so basically people work there seasonally, like they live close to there for like 3 months.
Right.
And it was just like really weird for me because I was like, who stays at Sun City? Then they're like, no, man, we're staff. We're not just like going to, yeah, like,
we can't take the 2-hour drive from Joburg every day. Sorry.
Yes, because I was like, who just uses the slides every day?
It's like a little where everyone
Really?
lives. Yeah. Do you get do people hit on you, Mojak?
Once in a while they do, but it's not. It's nice because it's online, so I can just delete comments. You know what I mean? But in real life, you can't delete
Mojak,
comments.
Tembekile's got something for you.
What did she say?
She has something for you.
Tembekile says, "Girl's got to do it. A girl's got to do it."
I have something for you, she says. I mean, I think you need to get it.
Where is this?
Swaziland.
Come to Eswatini. Yes, you have my pigeons. I want them back. They
Go
never
get your
came home
pigeons.
that one day.
That's where they've been this whole time.
Hanging out Eswatini. Unbelievable.
So yeah, you were saying, are you spending a lot of time playing games?
There we exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Basically, is what he's saying.
Ironically, a lot of women have a problem with men playing games.
Why? I don't like. I'm at home. I'm not getting up to mischief. The thing is, I was playing these.
Like best case scenario, that in my opinion.
I was playing games long before this pandemic, so now I've just continued my life. There's no.
Mojak was like this, and then the 28th of March, and then the president did his speech, and Mojak went like this, and then Mojak went like this.
I went back. Yeah, I was like, oh man, this guy's interrupting my game. What do you mean you're closing everything? Then I carried on with my life, and then I was like, everything's closed.
What do you know?
How's the transition onto? Because now you're more active on Twitter, you're on YouTube.
I mean, more active on YouTube, but everything else is kind of the same. It's different. It's a new format. I think the hard thing for me that like you're doing now is while people are talking, you're engaging with them like live, which I think is dope. You know, like you'll put up a comment. I often struggle in our show because of the interview format. It sometimes interrupts the flow of the conversation. You see, like now, whenever I see something pop up, I want to engage with it. And sometimes then I don't finish an idea or a thought. But
so we've been doing that. I've noticed, like, since I came on, Dave and I have been doing that. So you'll bring up a subject, we'll talk, then the comment comes on. We totally lose the thread, but we also I feel like we don't care that we've lost the thread.
Yeah, I mean, there's a balance, and it's like everyone finds it in their own time, you know.
So obviously, some of the audience don't know you that well, right? But I'm not sure why you would get this vibe. So I'll have to explain, or the person asking normally would come on the show and explain what is snacking. When we have guests that don't know what is snacking.
What is snacking? Tell us.
I'll try and put her on just to explain, but she must just explain the snacking levels and then be out.
This seems incredibly
David has explained the rules.
Round one, fight.
Tuto, just explain snacking and then be out. But you see now, the thing is also now, it's a bit of a guilt thing because she's paying, right? And this is her second, like $35 today.
She's paying. What do you mean? What are people paying for?
Wait till you hear about this, Mojak. Wait till you hear about this.
So, for instance, some people can say for $70, stop talking or move to the next subject or bring KG Mukhadi or whatever. And then someone else can counter that for more money.
I don't like this game.
I think you need to up the stakes, though. You know,
I've gone into prostitution basically. Since
I
mean, it's fine. I'm like at what, and then to dance.
You
and
know what? There's enough room on the internet for all of these ideas.
You know what? I'll twerk for free. I'm fine. I don't need this money. Real men twerk for free, not for PS4s.
You protect your twerk from corruption.
Doesn't exist, right?
Say that again, Dave.
Or a PS5 that doesn't exist.
Yeah, real gangsters twerk for free, yo. Yeah, when those guys twerk for PS5s, I was like, yo, go get your machine, boo-boo. Do what you gotta do.
I want to show you something that I have. I'm going to bring it. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Okay. So yeah, I'm still to get a PS4. You know where I messed up? I had two PS3s because I had one downstairs and one upstairs.
What are you talking about? So you thought you had a PS6?
So when the PS4 came out, I was like, I'm not buying another PlayStation. And they were literally very new, you know, until my son figured out scratched all my games, started playing my PlayStation, put games inside, upside down. Game,
Jeez. What's that? NES, Nintendo. What is that?
Yeah.
that a
Jeez,
Nintendo.
like,
Yeah,
I can't go that far back.
I can't,
found
but I've got a
But this
PS1.
isn't even that far back. Like there's one further back than this, which I actually have, but it stopped working. So
But
I
Gilli,
played.
that's kind of like nearby. Like that's kind of like in your room, not in the garage box. That's like
I know
nearby.
because I decided to start using it, and I did for a time. But then I got annoyed with the fact that it only had the one game. It didn't have enough games. It only had the one game that I liked.
What game is that?
It only had Mario Brothers on it. It didn't have like all the other crazy shit like Wonder Boy and Donkey Kong and Circus Charlie, you know, that I used to play when I was like 10.
So
That's what I
Gilli,
was
are
hoping for.
Yeah.
Gilli, are you still at home? I don't remember every time we talk about this, because I think you said your parents said you can only leave when you're getting married, right?
I said no such thing, but but if that's how you want to think about it, sure. No, I am living with my parents at the moment. I did that, you know, to support my my comedy dreams, and look at them now.
Oh my word! What a terrible mistake. We've all just made terrible mistakes.
Terrible
and then they led up
mistake.
to this pandemic.
Yeah,
and it was
exactly.
too late.
And now
It
the
was too
mistake
late
and
to
the
be-
pandemic are like together.
Forever. Just here. You can't even be like, oh, I studied accounting once. It's too late. It's a wrap.
Mojak, what else would you do?
We made mistakes based on the real world, not knowing that the real world was ending.
True.
And now there's a totally different world, like a virtual sort of makeup world, you know. We can put green screen backgrounds and shit. People are wearing tracksuits or underwear every day. Nobody washes. That's like the new world.
What else would I be doing?
So
I don't know.
I would do courier. I would do a courier thing, like me getting in a car, picking up, dropping off parcels. If they said to us, "This is it. No one is going back to stage anytime soon."
I guess you know what I was thinking about before this lockdown was creative economies, and I know I'm going somewhere else, but like how do they work and how do they operate, and what are the models and how can we fix them? Because like there's a lot of bizarre shit that happens in our worlds, in the creative world, and I was thinking about that before this lockdown, and then there was no economy, so there's no point pursuing that now. So
you can be creative, but forget the economy.
Yeah, take that out of your mind. Go make shit.
I'd take like a.
It's actually so funny. It's depressing.
Like see those spokesperson, those Maschava arts and culture spokesperson jobs. Now is the time. Until you know.
Those.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You know those like 1 year, you've got a salary, you've got some medical aid and car allowance or something. That's true. And
yeah.
You can also just get a job at the SABC. That's what everybody's job at the SABC is.
Get a salary and medical aid.
Yeah, and then you play. I remember once going into an office, like I had a meeting at the SABC for some TV show or something. And I remember walking through an office and like there was only one person at their desk. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, look at this studious young person. And then I walked past the desk and they were playing solitaire. And so anytime whenever there's any questions about the SABC and why it doesn't work, I think of that day. And all the questions are answered for me.
I mean, but where else must one play solitaire? Now imagine to play solitaire in your own home. I mean, really, that's untidy.
That's so uncivilized.
That's untidy. People are trying to
SME to me is like, it's like Flash from the other world, from F94 or F whatever the parallel world. I don't know, guys. The shit I've watched during lockdown. So
What have you watched, David?
I've watched a whole lot of things, right? But recently, Mojak, can you sing?
No, but so you just wasted £5. Let's go.
People are very curious about you. Like, the one girl has something that's yours, she wants to give you. This girl wants to see something. I mean,
Oh man, we've made a terrible mistake. I can show you the world. Shine.
yes, I sang that in the school play.
Well, I was in the choir once, but they were taking anyone. It was just like, can you walk here? Yes, cool, you're in. And
Go like this. Good, you're a tree. Off you go.
good, yes, there we go. Can you speak? Cool, you're the lead. What? I'm just here to ask for Oros. Yes, you're in.
Yes, that's what the play is about.
What size is your costume? Go behind there. What? It's like I came here to borrow a crayon. Now I'm in Aladdin. Ah, good Lord.
Did you bring your own carpet?
Splendid. I think I've sang £5 worth, have I?
I agree.
Tell me,
More
princess,
even.
now when did you just let your heart decide a whole new world? Don't you dare close your eyes. Okay, that's enough.
That was a nice touch.
Thank you, guys. In fact,
There's
we
another that I don't know, guys.
what?
Oh, okay. No. It's someone on the show, but I think they're using another number, probably data issues.
Oh,
So it's the
Maybe
person
the
who
game
explains the snaking and the levels, and because I thought she was using her phone, it's the person who was going to explain the snacking. So remember, the other money wanted to know if you guys are snacking.
yes. Sorry.
So, but then we have to explain to you that we've established.
I think we should try guess what it is first, because I think.
Okay, you can.
Okay, but when she says these two, which two is she talking about? And then maybe I think it's got something to do with drugs or sex. I mean, it's got to boil down to one of those two things. Because I don't think it's about pigeons.
Or Mazimba chips.
It's got to do with sex, yes.
Yeah, it does feel more sexual than Mazimba chips.
Dude, so here's the thing, right? For the past 6-7 weeks, Mojak, everybody who's here tonight has been here for the past 6-7 weeks. Like,
that's 95. Cool.
But so now we know who's single, who was quarantined alone, who's a single chick, who's a single mother, who broke up an engagement just before lockdown. So we have everyone.
So Lijari Shwam, not at your house. Okay. I see what's happening in this group.
So the
we
comments.
Think this group is about this show. It's not. There's a whole other thing happening over here.
So as soon as there's a guest, the audience start looking for how can they benefit. So some people will try and get a date.
Get it, girls. Get it. That's what I say. Get it. I mean, Mojak is taken, but
I'm gonna open an OnlyFans account where I take sexy photos where I'm actually snacking, where I'm actually eating snacks.
Yeah. And you're like, because people seem to want to hear your voice. You can just.
Yeah.
Oh
just like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm about to eat the chubbies. And then
you know.
But your voice must be the thing. So it has to be.
Maybe you must do those ASMR videos.
How to do?
I like ASMR. Does anyone here in people in the chat? Do you guys know what ASMR is and do you watch it? Because I like it a lot.
What's
I
ASMR?
remember the first time I heard about it, my brain exploded from hearing about it.
ASMR.
ASMR, yeah.
I'll
Mojak,
explain.
explain.
Okay.
ASMR is autonomous sensory meridian response.
Look
It's
at you.
it's like a feeling you get when you hear certain sounds, right? Sometimes it's like scratching noises or tapping noises, or it's whispering. So sometimes it calms me down. It's very weird. Just to anyone who's watching, it's very weird. ASMR. It's very strange. But sometimes when I play, so this is what I've been doing with my life. Let me explain my life, and please, guys, don't make fun of me. But basically, for the last 6 weeks, I play FIFA Division Rivals to qualify for the weekend league from Friday to Sunday. Then in the weekend league, I play 30 fixtures, and however well I do, I get better rewards. But the games are so stressful because the connection is so bad. I play ASMR in my headphones while I'm playing FIFA.
Wow.
So I'm not listening. So I don't listen to game audio. I listen to ASMR like Reiki while I'm trying to win a soccer match. So
You're the most interesting person I've ever met.
So it's like it's not. You need to meet more people.
I know, and I've met you so many times before that this is remarkable. You're more interesting than the Mojak I met before.
You see what you just said, Mojak. You couldn't do that if you had a 9-to-5 job, right?
Yes.
So that's why I decided to homeschool my kids, because my kids' brains work a certain way. So them going to school 7 in the morning, and then it's a break, and then 1 o'clock the school is over.
So you want to expose them to whatever's right for them and let them grow their brains in the way that it makes sense for them individually. That's awesome.
So if he wants to play soccer from like 11, or they come and they're like, "Daddy, can we swim?" And I'm like, "It's fucking 11 in the morning." And they're like, "Yeah, but..." Then I'm like, "Okay." I go and I open the pool and let them swim. And then in 5 minutes, if they're like, "We're done now," then we close the pool.
I just want to say this is fire, David, because once I lived with my grandmother and she wouldn't let me take sick days. She would be like, "Let me hear that cough." She's like, get dressed. Let's go to school. There was 1 year I never missed a day of school. She just refused. Hello, Toots.
Hi.
Hey,
I have
how's
something
it?
to say about that.
Oh, good.
Hey, Gilli. How do you say your name, Gilli?
Gilli.
What?
Gilli.
Gilli.
Hi,
Yeah?
Toots.
Tutu, you're not looking at us. You're looking at wherever you're looking.
Dude, this is a new gadget, so please. That's why I was battling to join. So, can you see now? My
I
view
like
is
how
different.
Toots got the
This is like
same
yours.
vibe as me. She's also in her bed with like the headboard in the background, which I appreciate.
Yeah, but Tutu, you're looking at your gadget, but we are looking at your ear and your chin.
Oh. And now?
That's better.
You know what
I'm
she's
trying
doing?
my new...
She's looking at the camera, which is on the left of the gadget, instead of
Let me
if her
try this
phone
one.
was.
So we want to know
not
about
the screen.
snacking.
Yes, I know.
Okay, I'll do it this way. Oh, damn. You see, now I look like Mojak. I don't want that. But it's okay. It's okay. Hello,
Oh, wow.
hello,
That's
hello,
that's
hello,
hurtful.
No,
Jesus.
she meant the 4x3 thing.
I know the
Yeah, now I
portrait,
look
but
like
it's still
him.
hurtful.
It is still hurtful.
This thing won't let me prosper.
Anytime
Anyway,
somebody says,
so-
"Now I look like that person," oh no, it's not a good thing.
How you guys?
We're good, thanks.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on. But as tradition would have, you can't just get away without helping us out here. We've all been in lockdown, right?
What?
So we've been in lockdown, right? So it's good to kind of understand and know how your lockdown is treating you, in terms of snacking. So snacking, what is snacking? So in South Africa or in the world, you have 3 levels of relationships. And a new one just recently came in via Jada, which is entanglement, but I'll explain it. So level one is top up, recharge, whap. No, you don't need to talk. It's just, whap, just in and out.
Okay. Jesus.
top up, just contracting. That's just service providers and contracting in level 1, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
level 2
Mhm.
is where you catch feelings. So you could be snacking with somebody and then you catch feelings, but they're not interested.
Mm.
So you kind of get dragged
Is it
into
because they
level
took
2.
away your snacks? Because I'd be very
Yeah.
upset if that happened.
No, you are the snack. You are the snack, or you are
Hey,
snacking
hey,
someone.
hey. Hey, I'm not no poly snake. You are. No, I'm joking. Okay, carry on.
I got into it. I was like,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, you either the snacker or the snaky. Okay,
Oh shit.
you're snacking someone.
What if
You are
Tutu, you are?
fluffing, right?
What if you are a
So-
main course? Some of us are a main course.
Yeah, so I'm coming there. So, and then Jada then so then there's level 3,
Alham.
right? Level 3 is serious relationships, marriage. You post your partner, you post each other's good things. It's good vibes there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then recently, Jada introduced entanglement. So entanglement is when you are married and then you kind of moved a level 1 snacker to level 2. So you caught up in an entanglement sort of situation.
With
right?
August.
So now we've got, with August, yes. So those are the levels. That's what snacking is. So when I say that these two snacking, we just want to understand how lockdown is treating you, and if you're getting your fix, and how's that going, and the challenges around getting a fix, because for a while hotels were closed, complexes did not allow visitors, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think that we shouldn't allow this to continue without Toots first telling us how she is snacking.
No.
I can tell you my story.
Valid point.
Thank you, Dave.
Unless he wants me to answer the question.
No. It's not
Mojak
about
has an
me.
answer ready, so let's see what Mojak has to say.
Yeah, but the guests don't know. So as much as you want to know about them, they
tell
want
us.
to know about you.
Okay.
But talk. I don't know if Barak Tutok is talk or Mojak is talk.
I think Mojak is talk. This is Gail. Yeah.
Someone
I
says
think Mojak is talk. What about Mojak is snack?
I'm a main course. Ni tombolo, ne ting, ne rice.
Tell them. I already told everyone that I'm a smoked salmon, and no one believed me.
Tombolo ting and rice. Ngazongjoyela yini.
So Tutor is in level 1, guys.
Level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in the khwap pay as you go, live single life, but has access to data and airtime.
Sure.
When she needs.
This is so untidy. Whatever this conversation is, it's just, how does this normally end?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's why we're so relaxed. Look how relaxed we are.
That's why I said go. She must explain the levels. The Mojak kids left.
So I'm gonna go.
Thank you for your explanation.
Because even David, we must also talk money, because snacking and money is attached. Like today we're gonna talk money.
Sorry, it's my itchy snack finger. My bad. Sorry.
I'm running on my mobile data today. My internet's messed up.
So do you want data? We can send you data.
I'll look.
Guys, usually this show goes on for like 4 hours. We can talk here for 4 hours.
We don't have to keep our guests on for that long.
No, but I mean, where are they going? Where are they going?
You don't know us. Okay.
You don't know my life. You're
going to snack. Are you going to snack? Okay, all right. Okay.
I wish my life was that exciting. It's so unfortunate that the things that are in your head, it's just not happening in the real world. I wish I could live up to your expectations.
So, okay, let's quickly. I mean, obviously, everyone. Well, Mojak is committed to. So Mojak is in level 3.
Okay.
I'm in level 3. 3A.
Yeah.
Level 3 without any entanglement.
Okay.
No August.
No
Yeah.
August situation. Okay.
Mojac's only entanglements are with his, games.
Yeah, like there's these actual cables that are all over this lounge. There are cables everywhere here. Just
So
like,
you use
Ignore them.
cables
I don't
too.
know. I can't speak
Ignore
for
them.
Gilli.
what did you say? Do we use what?
You use cables too during
Yeah,
your
I mean-
snacking business. That's
I
that's
mean,
great. Yeah.
I mean, candles, spatulas, hot cheese, whipped cream,
That's good.
Doritos, ting.
What's your level? Pick a level.
A level. I wasn't paying attention to the levels.
So level 1 is in and out, pay as you go. Whap,
Oh,
whap.
you know what? I know what my level is. A 0.
She's
Zero,
dry.
0, 0, 0,
Oh
0.
man.
Why I asked that, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm
I
on 3A.
so your
I will
level.
say, I tried to get out of 0, but nobody wants to help me.
Don't say that
Why
on
is
this
it
show.
difficult?
Yeah.
Why is it
You've made a
difficult?
terrible mistake. Watch the chat just blow up. What have you done, Gilly? Don't do this to us. We're trying to have a
You know what the thing
nice
about this
conversation.
thing is? I can leave. Don't ever forget that I can leave.
So
I've seen Mojak
But
do it.
do you want to get out of level 0?
Not at any cost. It's not at any cost.
Okay.
If the price is
that's
right.
fine. So your level is dash. It's not even 0. You know when you switch off something and
It's
it
actually
starts
on minus points. 0 shows promise. Like if you're at 0 with your credit card, you're in good
Cerebos.
shape, you know?
This is
They spell it wrong. It's
Cerebos.
cerebrosis. You spell it wrong.
You are in Cerebos stage.
I don't know why. Why are we saying Cerebos?
That's why
Mojak, can you
salt.
explain? No, wait. Mojak, can you explain cerebrostosis?
What is that?
That's why Cerebos.
Oh,
Salt.
the iodated salt. Oh, I see. The high.
Okay, I'm
Talking
gonna
about
go.
high.
I listen
Let's
on the
call it by its
radio.
real name.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, we'll come back when we discuss black people and money, which we might just.
Yeah, and levels
Go
and
enjoy a
snacking
snack,
because it's
okay.
expensive.
No more snacking.
No, snacking and money goes hand in hand too.
Yeah, but we can discuss it in relation to, but not just for the sake of discussing snacking. So,
I feel like, yeah.
it's complicated. Key level ma, asking for a friend. Between level 2 and 1, because what happens is that you think I'm in level 1, but you start thinking we are in level 2. So I kind of mislead you and make you think that there's something tight that's happening. I think that
was my situation. I think I've been on the receiving end of this arrangement you're describing.
Yeah. So you are in level 2, but the other person was in level 1.
Yeah, and you know what? My therapist said you have to come down to the level that they are at. You can't be up there and expecting them to reach the level. You have to come down to the level you're being given, or remove yourself from the game.
Yeah.
This is good advice. I don't know who your therapist is, but I agree.
If you're getting a 1 and you're giving 5, you have to come down to the 1. You can't expect the 1 to come up to the 5. It's not going to happen.
I think they meant Gilli.
That's okay. I've been called many names.
An entanglement with August.
You know what the problem is? I didn't know who August was. Who is August? I still don't know who August.
I had no clue.
Oh, good.
August was basically Jaden's friend. So this is another thing nobody talks about.
Jaden's friend.
Yes, this is the thing women don't talk about and are just happy or like high-fiving Jada. August was Jaden's friend who was not mentally okay, and the family took him.
How old is he? Is he Jaden's age? And how old is Jaden?
Seems like he's early 20s or something.
Maybe 28, 20, I don't know. Maybe at the time he was 20.
Oh, shit, this has become more interesting now. How come that's not been the subject of discussion?
That's why this story is very
Doge.
what's going on here? If it was Will who's doing this and da 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 with Jaden's friend, Will's friend, but the women are just like, go Jada, you are the man. But the background, the chap came to play PlayStation with the son, and then
You see,
And
he was
slept
like,
over.
Daddy, let me stay home so I can play PlayStation. And Daddy was like, cool, you're not suitable to a normal schooling environment. Let's leave you at home and open up the pool and see what happens. And this is what happened.
and then Mama Jada was
Yes.
it's a mess, that thing, guys. And the PR went sideways. That was supposed to kind of save it, you know. So you see, they're saying August is snacks at Jada. So basically, August was in level 2, Jada was in level 1. But
Can I say something?
This is when they were separate with Will.
Yeah, I actually like snacks. So can we talk about snacks? Actual edible.
I've got this insane biscuit that I'm obsessed with, and it's expensive and it's hard to find. It's called a Tim Tam. Have you ever had a Tim Tam?
What's a Tim Tam?
A Tim Tam is the world's greatest biscuit.
They're in a blue pack, right?
Yes. They come in a few different ones, but the original Tim Tam is sensational. And you know, how you know it's sensational is you have another biscuit right next to it and you eat that other biscuit. That other biscuit will see flames next to the Tim Tam. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if you have a Romany cream or a chocolate digestive or nothing can compare to the biscuit. I can't even explain.
I feel like everyone who's watching is like, actually, we don't want to hear about these snacks. Like
when have we ever cared?
So here's the thing: the numbers are coming up on the people watching.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because there was there was a surge in discussion around that was getting close to being something around sex, and so the internet can feel that, and then it swarms to where that thing is taking place, you know. And then now we just like poured water on it with the biscuit talk.
Can I tell you something? Sorry.
There's a network or service provider who's either free or very cheap after 11 p.m. And then those people come out like crazy.
Someone in the comments just said Brooklux, which is I have this friend. I have this friend who's a comedian. I won't say his name. Right? But him and I went to school together. And one day my friend was like, he was at home for the weekend or whatever, or he was with his mom. And he said to his mom, "Mark, can I have chocolate?" And the mom was like, "No, man, like we mustn't eat this sweet stuff." And so he left it, right? And then she disappeared, or she like went to the shops or something. And then he was like looking and searching. And then of course he found, white box with black writing, and he was like, "You'll not defeat me." And he thought he had found chocolate, but he had found Brooklux. Nommed, nibbled, ate the whole slab, right? Mom comes back, he's like, I won. Hour later, giddy, the stomach's like, exe.
I will argue that mom sabotaged son, because who puts that in the cupboard next to the food?
No, it was in like, those.
Where will you put the But Brooklux tastes like chocolate. Like, that was the strategy. It tastes like chocolate.
Person ate the thing.
Looks like chocolate.
It was fire. When they told me the story, I was like, fire. This is what you get for trying to steal. When your mom told you to leave this thing up over. I grew up on Mongol biscuits. Like
What's that?
like the Mongols who invaded China biscuits.
I've never heard of Mongol biscuits.
What is a Mongol?
Either you find them at the Pakistani shops or at the Indian shops. They sound like you're definitely not finding them at a spaza shop in the
I
township.
feel like that's something I don't know how to get.
Mongol biscuits.
Yeah, I know the look of something. I know the sound of something that I don't know how to get. That sounds like it.
Mongol. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google that.
And then what have you been eating during lockdown?
I've been cooking more than ever. Today I made a chicken curry with some broccoli, which I was kind of proud
Wow.
of. It's nice.
Mojak, you needed this time to come into connection with your food preferences to prepare you for life in the real world, because you've got a tumultuous relationship with food.
I mean, I like good food, but now
Yeah.
I've been having to make it, which is stressful. So
It was stressful before for you,
yes,
is what I'm saying.
and the first few weeks were just putting shit in the oven and being like, "I'll see you in 45 minutes, dog." And then I was like, this is unsustainable to cook like this. To just be like, "See you later, my dogs," and then take it out.
Guys, if I count how many times I've had brown bread and peanut butter and jam, if I had to
Really?
stack up slices,
I haven't even had that one time.
And are you serious?
I've had
Not
it
even
once,
one.
and that was this week. I had peanut butter with a little bit of maple syrup once this whole lockdown. Twice,
Are you
maybe
kidding
tops.
me?
Dead serious. Twice max.
Like I've cut down, guys. By now, I'd be having peanut butter and jam after dinner at like 7, 8. Or I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and have peanut butter and jam, rooibos. Maybe we'll watch TV or eat and be out, go back to sleep at like 6 or 7. Almost every day.
Wow.
4 a.m. Why are you up at 4? Like that's like Robben Island times.
That's
So-
anxiety. That's what that is.
I used to sleep, or I'd sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. So if I went to bed 10, 11, I'd be up at 3, 4.
What?
Went to bed midnight, I'd be
Hmm.
up 5, 6. Ever.
You're one of
Forever.
those people. You're one of those people who only needs the 5 hours.
No. I wish I could sleep more, but I can't. My brain doesn't allow me.
Huh.
Really?
Then I'm not working or away or whatever, I might fall asleep watching TV or take a nap during the day.
Mm.
But if I have to then go on set and yada yada, sometimes
Ah,
there's pictures of me passing out on some of my sets. Or like one that decides to take a nap instead. Or go in the makeup room and just lie down for like 20 minutes. But it comes
You
in
know
waves.
what?
I used to believe it's witchcraft. It comes like you have to sleep right now. And then, which is why I said,
Robala.
even when driving,
Robala.
I'm waking up sometimes. But
Jesus.
if I park on the side of the road and try to sleep, nothing. So
That's crazy.
I always have to measure. Like if we had a call time at 6, I would have to fight to stay up the whole day, not take a nap, not fall asleep, nothing.
Wow.
If I went to bed now, roll around maybe 12:30, 12:20, I fall asleep, and then maybe 20 past 5 or something, I'd be up. Then I can carry the 6 a.m.
That's
for quite a bit. So the shit is, if we have a 9 a.m. and I'm up at 4, 5, and then I start falling asleep again at 5 to 9.
jeez, like that's I melt if I don't get like more than 6 hours. Like I melt. Like my everything. My body just turns on me. Like my stomach just goes, whatever you're going to put in here, it's not gonna stay for long. Like enjoy it when you're consuming it. Then my eyes do their own thing. Then like everything betrays me when I don't get enough sleep. The mind, like I can't think. Like I'm just a zombie.
Wow.
Beginning of lockdown was like sometimes I'd go to sleep 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Oh, I still do that like almost every day.
Yeah. So when I used to be deep in PlayStation, when everybody goes to sleep, like now, like if my wife goes to sleep 10, 11, then I go on and play PES until like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. almost every night. I used to do that. But obviously not having to wake up has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Like there's no one, you're not forced to.
I was waking up at like 5 or 6 at the beginning of lockdown from so much anxiety, like just getting up at 6 a.m. like in a panic, like straight, like waking up into an anxiety attack every morning for like weeks.
Jeez, like.
Really?
Yeah. Very severe. And now, like, then it evened out. Then I was sleeping fine. And now I'm still waking up a little bit panicked, but later. It's not so intense.
Your panic attacks are coming at the appropriate time now.
Yes, 7 or 8.
What's the cause of your anxiety?
Hello. Oh, anxiety attack. I will see you now. Fine. Yes.
What would be the cause of your anxiety?
The cause of my anxiety?
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning of lockdown, as I was telling you, my parents' business was collapsing, and so the stakes of that are very, very high.
Heavy.
And
heavy days.
And is yours treatable, or what do you take for anxiety?
Well, I don't have my anxiety is circumstantial. I'm usually a very mentally and emotionally stable person. Like it's very hard to rock me off my mental and emotional axis. You know what I mean? Like my mental health is in good shape, but this thing is circumstantial. I was stressing about specific things. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't something that I couldn't attribute to something. There were reasons. And then, so that's why I struggle with the notion of like taking something, because I had friends who were like, why don't you, there are things you can take for your anxiety. I'm like, no, when this problem ends, then my anxiety will go. That's what's going to solve this, like it's not a mystery, my anxiety.
Yes, I think the logic is like, it's like you're right, it will go, but it's here now. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I'm not judging your procedure or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm also like,
it's very personal. It's very personal. I just knew that like for me, it didn't make sense to start fucking with myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made me nervous to change the status quo in a way that I couldn't control. So I think it was probably a good idea, but I couldn't get my head around it, because I really believe in medication. I do for mental health.
I'm like the opposite. I don't hate medicine, but I don't like taking it.
No, that's the thing. That's what I'm telling you. I believe in the concept if it's right for you, but I don't do it because I couldn't start. I don't take any medication as it is. So if I take something, it has a very severe impact, and I didn't want to start fucking with something that takes time to adjust or whatever it is. It just it felt too extreme a thing to fuck with when it was, when I was feeling unstable. And I also I couldn't drink or do anything like that, because I'm a drinker. Like the way I drink is like, I don't like having a drink knowing all the problems are still going to be there when the drink is done,
Oh, I drink fucked up. I can drink in any situation.
Really?
Makes
me more depressed.
They could go, dinosaurs are coming. Then I'm like, yes. Sorry, carry on, Dan.
I've driven myself to waterfall emergency room. I think once I've driven myself, twice my wife has driven me, because I thought I was having a heart attack.
Heart attack.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
That's what it felt like. But I've figured it was a panic attack, right?
Yeah.
you pay all that money, like fucking thousands of, and they tell you there's nothing wrong with you, and X-rays and whatever, and then they
You're
still
like,
send
even
you.
a little something. Can't I have a little heart attack just for?
And they keep sending you fucking bills, and they're still like, yeah, this is from the other day when you had nothing, and then.
That's why I resent the dentist, and I've stopped going.
Oh, I need to go to a dentist.
I need to go to a dentist. My teeth
I've
are
gotten tired of them charging me so much money to tell me that my teeth are in perfect condition. I'm like, fuck you. I will come when there's a reason.
Oh, I smoked for 14 years. It's a sure shot. My teeth are terrible. Like, I know whoever has to deal with my teeth now is earning their keep. You know, it's like they will feel like, oh, today I worked. Today I worked on a labor of love. Like, whoever has to deal with my teeth after all these years is gonna be like, aha.
My
This is what I
mother
studied.
feels very strongly about my teeth. She's like, "Are you flossing? Are you looking after them?" Because she paid for the braces and the plates and all the orthodontists and all the shit. So if like something is wrong with my teeth, she's very upset. She's like, her investment, that's fucked up, you know.
So mine
What
have
is-
started breaking down. The fillings are coming out. It's like the wheels are fucking coming out. And then the actual teeth now start breaking, but inside, so guys, it's fucking.
This is why I play video games, to take me away from all of this realness of teeth, and I'm just like,
And depression and anxiety attacks.
But I think
yeah.
for all the treats and shit I used to eat and the sugar I eat growing up. So someone here says their favorite snack is this disco pops. I've never heard this word in my entire 42-year-old life. And she says she's talking about discopas, what we call matumtum.
Scopas, disco pops.
It was called disco pops.
Oh, like when I saw disco pops, I had no idea. Then I was like, disco pops. Yeah, I know what that is. I was
That's
like, what
so
the?
funny.
I was like, what is a disco pop?
I've never heard the words disco pops in my
I feel
life.
like I'm out of my depth here, but I feel like disco pops might have just been ghost pops.
No, it's the sugar coated popcorn.
When you buy them, the bag is like a meter or 2 meters. You know, they come in a 2 meter long bag.
Yes.
And then you
I've
put
seen
them in the smaller bag. Like, we grew up, I mean, those were popular in the township. But I had no idea they were called disco pops, guys. Or
That's a great name, too.
no, Leonard people call them disco pops.
While we were talking, I was like, where's my phone? And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Great.
Need to. Then I was like, I'm talking into it.
Great. Classic.
I was like,
classic ADD / getting old vibes. I like it.
You see, I told you anything. You have to go.
No, I want to tell you something about anxiety attacks. I started watching The Sopranos all the way from the first episode. And that's what where?
Great show.
Great show. Best. In fact, I have to say this. When I watched that show for the first time, which was 20 years ago, I thought, this is the best show I have ever seen. That was 20 years ago, right? Then I watched everything else on Earth that came out after that. Every show on Earth since then, right? And now I'm watching it again. And I'm like, this is the best show I've ever seen.
So I've never watched The Sopranos, but
it's so good.
I bought all the DVDs. I watched maybe.
I also had all the DVDs, actually.
I watched maybe 7 episodes, and then Kutlwano, the filmmaker, fucking borrowed maybe 2 or 3 seasons and never came back.
Showmax. It's on Showmax.
Showmax, yeah, HBO Showmax. Okay, it's good. It's so good.
It's so good. It's like there isn't a single moment on that show that is not there for a reason. Nothing is there just because. Every single scene, every interaction, every single character, the casting is incredible. And like every moment of it adds up to something bigger. Every word, it's like the tightest, most brilliant thing you've ever seen in your life. And that show, like, people think that it's a show about a mob boss and the mafia, but it's actually a show about a mafia boss who goes to see a therapist because he's having panic attacks. That's what the show is actually about. And it's how he deals with his psyche throughout like this entire thing. Without, through every season is what actually underpinning the whole show. And it's so good that, people forget, like, what we forget? There's so many things that happened on The Sopranos that people forget didn't exist before The Sopranos. Like, people forget that before The Sopranos, we didn't watch shows that had like 10 characters and they all had storylines that you had to follow. Like, that didn't exist before that time. Like, multiple storylines and narratives and relationships happening over time that you followed from one episode to another, to a season to another. That didn't happen before that. Like, before that, it was just like every episode on its own and like 4 characters, You didn't see, you didn't see on TV, you didn't see like that much severe violence or sex before that. Like, there's so many things that were on that show that you've never seen before. Then you watch it now and you're like, oh yeah, I watched this, makes sense to me now. But 20 years ago when we saw that shit on TV, our heads exploded.
There's one I started watching, but I've already even forgotten what the title is, but it's set in Canada.
Movango.
It's on Netflix.
Not Movango. Okay. I was close.
It's set in Canada. It's like a gangster vibe. But I forgot what it is. So here's a TV show we can make, Gilli.
Yeah.
So this comment, I'm going to a funeral tomorrow. See you all later, alligators sharp. So Mojak, I don't know if you've met Swart. Swart does all the sound at my comedy shows, the actual filming, recording, and all my movies. You might have met him.
I'm sure we've met. Yeah.
His name is Tsepo.
Excellent.
If anyone has ever put a mic on you at a Blacks Only or any of my shows, it was him.
Salute.
So this comment, right, and what I'm saying, Gilli, maybe this is a TV show we can make or a movie or whatever. So we spoke about when your level ones or your one night stands or whatever don't want to leave your place the next day. Sleepover, right? So
right. I don't know what the sleepover is that you're referring to, but yes, continue.
I'm
going to imagine. I'm going to use my imagination here.
Yeah, I understand completely.
Yeah.
So you could be the sleepover actually, because if your level one invited you to their place or took you to their place, and you think you're in level 2, and you're not getting ready to leave the next morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Tsepo dressed up for a funeral and told the other person, you have to go because I have to go to your funeral. But he did a whole number of like, wake up, wash, dressed in formal black shoes.
That's a mess.
That's good. That's why you should always wear black.
What?
You can always just be like, oh, listen, I have to go to a funeral.
So we were talking about all the excuses people have to make, or guys, or even girls, for a guy to leave or whatever. So that was one of the excuses. So him saying to us, hey guys, I have to go and be to a funeral tomorrow.
Oh, I see. That's good. Well done. Well done. There is no funeral, is there?
But what other shows come close to The Sopranos? Look, I mean, for HBO, obviously, it was Game of Thrones.
No, man, don't come here with.
The Wire is good.
The Wire is on that level. You can't come with your Game of Thrones and think that it compares to The Sopranos.
So I have a superpower. I can watch a show and completely love it and then never be bothered with it again. Like, I watched Breaking Bad for like 6 episodes and went, this is amazing. And then I was like, I never have to see this again.
It is a
I was
superpower.
like, it's like, this is good, but I'm done here.
That's great. That's great.
The Wire. What else is great?
I've never
The
watched The
Office.
There
I've
was an
seen-
amazing show around that era called 6 Feet Under. Okay. It was also
Yeah.
one of those early, like brilliant HBO shows. It was about a family that owns a funeral parlor. And in every episode, every single episode would start with a death, like a person died. And it was this very morbidly like abject humor. It wasn't a comedy, it was a very serious drama, but it was like at the beginning of every episode, the person would die. And then you just saw the drama that happens in this family and amongst these family members. And it was brilliant.
Clientele with Desmond Duve and Lillian.
Yeah.
We must make a South African version of 6 Feet.
Yes.
It'll be fire.
But a person dies in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end.
Jesus, that's okay.
I missed I started watching Sons of Anarchy. I never went anywhere.
My favorite show in recent times is Succession.
That's
Another HBO.
That has to be one of the best things I've seen. Yes,
It's so good. It's crazy good. It's like
Yeah.
it's so sickeningly good. I just love it so much.
So let me tell you how I ended up making some of the choices, and I want to take my time back, and I can't. Right.
Right.
Mhm.
So when my kids started watching TV, or now we have to watch TV,
That's funny.
Yeah.
then I had to find shows I can watch with them.
Guys, my phone is dying. I'm gonna have to like break out. I'm literally on. It's
That's the
30
key.
seconds left.
You
You're
can't
like, I'm
use
going to
that.
quit on my phone before it quits on me.
That's a dope
guy-
excuse. You can use it to get rid of a snack.
Yeah. Good luck with the funeral.
Thank you, guys. Namaste, your asses at home.
Thanks for popping in.
Namaste. Thank you
Let's
guys
go.
for having me. Have a good one, yeah?
We'll be here if you need us.
Salud. Namaste. I need to.
Sharp boy.
I like how he froze like that. That was dope.
I think his phone did die.
Yeah.
So
Please continue.
at some stage, right, I started watching. I mean, I've watched all the Marvel, the Daredevil, Iron Fist, yada yada, and in the sequence, right, Jessica
Yeah.
Jones, the black guy, what's his name? Lucky, no. Fuck.
I don't know anything of what you're talking about.
Okay, so Netflix had a series of Marvel comics
Right.
that were produced for Netflix.
Ah.
Not comics, but superhero stuff that was based
Yes.
on, that were developed or created by Marvel. Then the DC ones are obviously Flash, Supergirl, DC Legends. This is all on Netflix. And, and Arrow, right?
Right.
But at some stage, the storylines cross over.
Oh,
So
cool.
episode 7 of whatever, and then it continues into episode 8 or 7 of the other one, which continues into, and they all kind of get together. So there'll be a mission where they're all, but the shows are so, I mean, it's superhero stuff, Supergirl is like Superman's cousin.
Right.
Flash, I say Flash just runs. That's how I describe Flash. So I watched Flash at some stage, stopped, and then Kim Engelbrecht was in season 4. So now I went back to finish season 2, season 3, so that I can watch him in season 4. Then you have to go watch Supergirl for the other episode. Then you must come back to Arrow.
Gotcha.
That's what I've been doing with my.
No, but you have to watch The Sopranos. I'm convinced.
No, I'll start it from scratch.
You'll love it. It's so good.
I'm gonna start
Look
it from
who it is. Look who it is. What transport are you on? Hi.
Hello, darlings.
Hi. I'm so jealous of whatever it is that you're doing. I don't
Hi.
even know what it is.
Hi, Gilli. Hi, David. How are you guys
Hi,
doing?
Tenji.
What up? How are you?
How am I? I am good.
Is it?
It is cold. Just the evening cold. It wasn't a good day. I'm just on my way back home from a funeral.
Oh no.
Which funeral was it? Are you allowed?
A friend's dead,
Yes, sir.
Shame, man.
and yeah, it was one of those where only 4 family members were allowed to actually go to the gravesite and the actual funeral, and we just had to stay home and watch on Zoom.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah,
Gilli, by the way, she was in London, right? In the UK.
I figured.
so
I figured.
even though I went to be with the family, and only 10 of us could be with the family and to watch with them on Zoom.
Wow.
So, Gilli, when we were talking about what job would you do if we can't do comedy anymore, so since you were used to professionally, not now, not today, I think, not today, but since you were used to professionally cry at weddings in London, so going
At
more
funerals, not at weddings, David.
funerals.
I never cried at weddings. I cried at funerals.
There's an
I used to be
episode of
a professional funeral crier.
there's an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm in his last season where there's a professional
Yeah,
crier.
so even today it was a similar situation.
Except
Did
you're not,
all the
But
old
I was
acting
not
skills
getting, I
come
was
back?
not paid
Okay.
yes, I can't imagine it.
because it was a family friend.
Oh, so
But-
you're not going to send an invoice later, like?
But it's just crazy how things are happening now.
Is it
I was like,
related to that thing we don't mention?
yeah,
Yes, yes.
Wow.
and which makes it even worse than the normal ones, because not only is the family crying over what's happening, they're also crying over, is it even the right body, because they're not allowed to identify.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's yes.
That's too much. Sorry,
Yeah.
man.
It's just crazy, and you only have 15 minutes. They had 15 minutes at the gravesite, and if you are 15 minutes late, when you come, they will just show you, this is where we put them.
Shit.
You?
Wow.
It was the saddest thing.
Wow, that's heavy.
That's
So
the
apparently,
saddest.
South Africa, we are now past the UK. We are now on top
And
of number
you
8.
you can't even look to see if there's actually anything inside the coffin or the caskets that you chose, because you just brought a casket at the gravesite to bury, and you're not allowed to open it to even see if there's a person there, number one, because you don't know, it could be an empty casket.
Why though? Why won't they let
Number
people
two,
see?
is it even our person?
And C19 things related, you can't.
It's one of those things where you start realizing what we're complaining about all along was not even that bad. You start saying to your grandmother, hey, thank you for dying last year. At least we could identify you. At least we know it was actually you. It's one of those things where you are saying, hey, we need to go and apologize to HIV. It wasn't this bad.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing that I saw happening.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's still
Yep.
like this thing for me is still up in the air, you know, because now you say things like this, and then also now you're like, yeah, this thing is real, but then also like, so once it's ready, we can't identify, we don't know if that's a family member.
It was crazy for all of us because we were all talking about numbers. It was like 5,000 today, but it was just numbers. But now we're talking about names. It's people we know.
Mm.
So it's no longer numbers. It's names.
Yes, sir.
And it's also, people don't realize how much of our legal rights and liberties it's taken away from us. Something as simple as identifying a body. We no longer have a right for that.
That's
You
crazy.
just have to believe what they say.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, it's sad. And the worst thing about this thing is it's a universal thing, and it's not often. I think in our lifetime, it's the first time we are facing the same thing globally. It's the first time I'm having the same problems as Oprah Winfrey. It's the first time I'm having the same problems as Barack Obama.
And that's
It
where
does.
that's
This
where
thing
you come.
doesn't care who you are or how much you have. It does not care.
But this is the trick with it, right? It's you kind of want to be optimistic and be like, you know, and stay home. If you have it, you're like, stay in a good mood, da, da, da. And then you hear or read of like a very wealthy person who there was nothing. They can, some people can't even get a hospital bed, you know what I mean, in this country, regardless of how much money they have. Then you're just like,
Uh, you know what the saddest thing is? You know when you are watching a football match and you like, Dr. Kumalo, that should have been a goal. And that's exactly what we are doing to the government. Because I sit here and I think if it was me, I would have said, but the people who are putting them in those 3 bags, whatever they are wearing, why can't you give it to the family members to wear and go and identify? And then they told us it's too expensive. Families cannot afford it because it's 500 pounds.
Wow.
And if we give people that option, then it becomes the problem of the poor, because the rich can afford it, but the poor cannot.
Uh-huh.
So the solution must be universal. Because if we say, okay, you can buy the PPE that the undertakers are wearing, but how many people can afford it?
Mm.
yeah,
So they've made it a universal thing. Everyone must go through the same thing. But can you imagine just going and you don't,
Awful.
like the worst thing,
Yeah.
you don't even know if there's actually someone in the coffin. And so much so that people are now thinking, let's just do it like Muslims who do not use a casket or a coffin. At least we know there's a body.
Yeah.
Because you could potentially be burying an empty casket.
Well, Jewish people, we don't bury with a coffin
least
either, but
Bring
but
us
we don't.
the
But the
3
body
bags
is
and we
covered.
know there's actually a body inside.
Yeah.
And we will wrap it with sheets like how the Muslims are doing.
Yeah.
guys, I'm hearing funny beeps in my house. I don't know where.
So it's just crazy.
So
And it's a universal problem because I'm in London, I'm in England. And to know that there are South African people going through the same, and knowing us as South Africans in particular, specifically Zulu, we have traditions where the body must be traditionally washed before it's buried. That's been taken away from us.
yeah, I mean, so we were gonna talk about black people and money, but I'm gonna move that topic to tomorrow. With my internet speed, and there's a guest I found out I can have who wrote around how we spend money. But for me, funerals, weddings, I always go back to and question: do we need to spend that money that we spend, right? Which we most of the time don't have. Most of us don't have. But I'm bringing it up because you mentioned um, about questioning, do you still want to now buy a coffin, or can you just wrap the body, or find another way of burying something? Because what
I
are
think
you?
we need to move forward to just wrapping it. At least you know there's a body. You might not know whose body, but at least you know there is a body.
How different is it really from a Jewish? Like, what would be the normal Jewish funeral?
Hey, I'm at my station.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Were you in the train?
it's yeah. I'm just getting off now, but I'm going to another train. So it's just crazy, and what makes it even more crazy is we are not the same universally. We don't have the same cultures. We don't practice the same cultures, and unfortunately for us as South Africans, we have leaders who lead by copy and paste. So they are doing practices that are done in the West, but for us as specifically Africans, they affect us differently because we have uh, we have cultures.
But I mean, I
We
think
have
that the
specific
thing
things that
affects
we do. It's
everyone.
not just a matter of, oh, Tenjua has passed on, we're just gonna bury her. Like, people are not even allowed to sing. Singing is
Or
banned. You cannot sing.
Yeah.
yeah, because everyone has to also wear a mask, and you minimize the whatever particles could be coming out if people
Yeah.
are sick.
And at the grave sites, you are given 15 minutes. So, African time, ne? We are always late. So,
So, Chenju,
uh,
are masks not mandatory in the UK?
not yet. They're going to start being mandatory on the 24th. Right now, nobody's wearing them. They're not mandatory. But from the 24th, they will be. But only when you go to, like if you get it on a train, if you go into a shop, but not on the streets. Actually, they have been discouraged
To wear masks.
because
Your internet is killing.
Maybe she's gone underground.
Yeah. You were saying something about Jewish funerals.
I mean, I think like none of
doctors
us get
came
to
with
sort of choose how this affects us. We can't bargain with it.
caskets. So at
Then,
least you know.
yeah, we missed a lot of what you were saying because you froze.
Okay, let me just get up the steps and
Okay.
be stand still.
Okay.
What they are saying is, with the other cultures like Jewish and Muslim funerals, most of them, they don't use caskets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They wrap
but you
the body
still,
in
you
white
still don't
sheets.
see the person. You still
Not a
don't see the
casket,
person.
not a coffin. So at
In
least you
South Africa,
see
you still use a casket.
that you are actually burying a body. Whereas with us, when they, like the one I went to today, they brought a casket, but nobody is even sure there was anything inside the casket.
What Chenji, was it a black family or a non-black family?
Black British.
Okay.
Mm.
We have same money habits, I guess. But we all like things. We all like caskets for funerals. We like clothing labels. Yeah, man.
But anyway, when you think of it, it's some of the things that are happening now we should adopt going forward. Because normally, a typical black family funeral, there are 7 buses. God knows what for.
And taxi.
People are buying new clothes. And there's a caterer that's paid 50,000 rand to come and cater. And
Yeah.
all of that now is not happening. And I think those are good behaviors that we should adopt from what's happening now, because we don't need to treat funerals like weddings or events.
Yeah.
But the saddest thing is the fact that you cannot even identify the body.
Yeah, no, that I can't deal with. I'm sorry.
You can't even open the coffin to be sure that there's something inside.
No, that I can't do. Because that's now where people start, saying stuff, and then they start cutting our feed here on.
And what's happening now is it's not just people who passed on because of Mr. Rona. If, say, you die in a car accident,
Yeah.
when you are taken to the mortuary, you could be lying on a tray that previously had somebody who had Rona. So you will get it as a dead body. So still,
Yeah.
you cannot be seen, you cannot be touched.
Oh.
Yeah, but also that you see, these are the parts that I was saying. This is when this show might be prematurely, and they, so basically, if you had this thing and you're still alive, and then you are in a car accident and you die from the car accident, the death is recorded as a C whatever death. This is the fact. This is what.
But what's happening now is, even if, say, you get hit by a car, you're crossing the road, we're gonna say, didn't have the Rona, he would have seen the car, but he was busy coughing, so he didn't even see the car. So it's Rona that took him.
Is the delayed 23:30 Southwestern Railway service
And
to
you were saying
calling out
something on our mask, or they were
West
discouraging
Byfleet,
mask.
Woking,
Tell that woman.
Because they are saying from the 24th, we're going to start being fined if we do not wear a mask. If we go to like if you go to a supermarket, not if you're walking on the street. If you're going into a place,
Oh, my battery's dying.
they're calling it confined areas. So if I get on a train, if I go into a supermarket, but for now, they are not masked. Because in the beginning, they wanted masks. And then they had to stop them because there were some medical experts that came with disadvantages of wearing a mask.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is it. This is our moving forward.
And but what's worrying me is, because I'm South African, I'm just in a different country, and I'm like, at least here people are respected. They are told on this day this will stop.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's happening with immediate effect. You're not just being told now that from now you're no longer going to do this. People are being respected enough to be given time to be told. And people complain that these masks are expensive. Because if, say, it's £1 per mask, you buy one per day. It's 30, 31 per month. That's a lot of money. So the places that require masks are going to have to provide them. Like if you go to a supermarket, if you do not have a mask, it's their duty to provide you with a mask.
But does it have to be a mask? Like,
If you
can it
get
not
on
be
a
a face
train,
covering? Does it have to be a
it's
mask?
their duty to provide you with a mask.
But does it have to be a mask? Like, why can't it be a face
So
covering?
you don't have to buy it
Can you not hear me?
yourself.
I think there's a delay. Can you? And a person
Yeah.
wear just a scarf or like any type of covering.
This is
No.
getting my battery is dying.
It
So I have
has
to go.
be a mask because
Okay.
the scarves are not working because
Okay.
they do. What happens with the mask is you have to test it on a candle. When you wear a mask, put it on, blow a candle. If you can blow a candle, it means you can pass it on. That's why they recommend 3 layers.
Okay, Tenj, let me just say goodbye to Gilli.
Because with
Got it.
people just putting on anything, it's not guaranteed that it's gonna
Got it.
do what it's supposed to do. Test.
Let me say goodbye to Gilli. Ne?
So when you put on a mask or a scarf, as long as if you can blow out a candle. Why are you chasing Gilli away? I was
Because my
enjoying Gilli.
battery's dying and you
Gilli?
can't hear me.
She has to go. And her battery's dying.
Oh, okay. I totally understand.
And I'm sorry for your day. It sounds absolutely awful, and I hope things improve for all of us soon.
Gilli, thank you so much. Eh?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gilli. I was enjoying the show. I was watching the show, and
I'm
At the
glad.
funeral. At the funeral.
that's the good thing about these Zoom funerals, because you just hold your phone and put your headphones and watch a YouTube live. Watch David and just be wiping tears as if you are watching the funeral. Just pretend you are still watching the funeral. You just look at the people around you. If they are wiping tears, you're like, okay, this must be the sad part, and you wipe.
Good.
But you don't have
Good
to
tip.
be watching.
Good tip. I'm going to do that with my
You do
Zoom
not have
meetings
to be
now as well.
watching.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you,
eh?
level zeros. Thank you very much. This has been a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, by the way, you're welcome to come back anytime on the show.
All right, cool.
You don't need an
Well,
appointment
when I
anymore.
run out of Soprano episodes, I'll be back here.
You don't need an appointment anymore.
Okay, good to know.
Awesome. Thank you. Eh?
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Gilli. Much love. Yeah, so it's just crazy, David. We just have to get used to this new normal.
But Chinji, I'm not going to funerals.
Like,
I definitely won't go to a Kovovo person's funeral.
But the thing is, you don't have to physically go. You can do it through Zoom. And you know what happened? As we were watching the Zoom, there were people asking, can I record for my dad? And some people were recording with their phone. So that's the one thing that's happening, that now your family member's funeral is on somebody's phone.
Like your part.
And 6 months later, they're going to be a meme. Because 6 months later, Tenjiwe is going to see the funeral and find something funny about it and make a meme out of it. Because some things are not meant to be recorded. Some things are just meant to be just that experience.
Yes. Sir.
But people were like, oh, my father is at work. Can I record for him?
I'm not ready for this. This part of this thing, I'm not ready.
But
So,
you can. It's up to you how you look at it, because you can also be. You can start a business, because some of these Zoom funerals are too empty. So you could start a business where you make it look very sad by giving them people who are going to be on Zoom or being the MC at the funeral, you know?
no, there's definitely business.
We just...
Are you in another train?
You know what I kept asking myself? Yeah. What I kept asking myself was, some of these funeral plans, especially back home in South Africa, they tell you that the main attraction is we provide 4 buses and food for 200 people. And now you must have 50 people. Do you get your money back? Or do the 50 people get 3 plates each? Because they must give enough.
Yeah, the valid point. I mean, look, we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'm gonna move Black People and Money episode to tomorrow, and we'll break it down and go into funerals, weddings,
What the episode about?
clothes, Black people and how we spend money, or our spending habits.
Mm.
You know, clothes, funerals,
Yeah,
weddings.
yeah. We
Uh,
need that. We need that.
yeah, but I want to get someone who wrote the book.
And
Apparently.
Tina, we even and that's something we need as Black people. I'll definitely join, because when I was there, these were Black people, but they're British Black people. They grew up here, so they practice like British culture, and they were just wearing their leggings. They were just wearing like Tina. We buy new clothes.
Mm. Yeah.
We buy brand
We are
new
wasting.
clothes to be seen. We
We all-
waste a lot.
We are wasting, guys. That's why we are generally unprepared.
We even pay for draping my funerals, but then it's because everything has been commercialized. Have you ever been? I've lost family members where I was the chief mourner, so I was responsible for the whole thing. And you go to these funeral parlors, and when they're selling you coffins, they'll tell you, okay, this one is just cheap, and then this one is the best caskets, and they'll tell you, casket's so good, you wish you were dead. They have caskets with windows.
Someone is worried
They'll
about
tell you
you.
with this casket,
You're not wearing a mask. Or are there no people
I
near
don't
you?
have to. Even if they were, currently they are not, but even if they were, I'm in London and it's not a requirement. It's not it's not like South Africa where people are forced, where it's a legal thing. Actually, here it's discouraged because of when you're breathing, you don't need to breathe with a mask because you breathe oxygen by
because-
thousands. But we are
Yeah,
discouraged.
even though we are forced to do it here, wearing a mask is not healthy.
It's
It will
not healthy.
prevent you spreading the disease, right? If you have it. But essentially you are breathing in your own carbon dioxide, and that's another disease you're gonna have to deal with eventually.
And the problem we have as South Africans, we do not question things. We are just told what to do, and we do it without being, without questioning. Even here, alcohol has never been banned from the word go. We can get alcohol, we can get cigarettes. You can drink, you can
These are the
smoke.
things that we can discuss tomorrow. But remember, our habits, how we spend money on alcohol and what we do once we're drunk. It's not like any other country, not even in Europe. In Africa, Africans are not, the rest of Africa is not the way we behave or how we do things.
Not the rest of Africa, because the rest of Africa, alcohol has not been banned. It's only been but alcohol has only been banned in South Africa and countries like Swaziland. Swaziland, they copy and paste whatever South Africa is doing.
Yeah, you're breaking.
And
You're breaking. You're breaking.
It's a sad state of affairs. Yes, consequences. People, but
Yo, it's bad, Tenj. I can't hear. We haven't heard you for the past 2 minutes.
I'm starting to sound like AK dance.
No, yeah, we didn't hear you for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, in South Africa, the main problem, David, is that it's not the people who are drinking, it's not the drunks, it's the police. People are supposed to enforce the law. They do not, because they will take a bribe. If you are stopped for drinking and driving, they will take 50 rands or 100 rands from you. And then 10 minutes later, ubulale 4 people. If our police did their job, people would not drink and drive.
Yeah. No.
And South Africa.
Shit. Okay. I guess we lost Lindsay, guys. If she gets to come and say good night, we will do that. But I gotta wrap it up as well. 'Cause I've been on my mobile data the whole show, 3 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes, which is unsustainable. I don't know if she'll come back, but in the meantime, thanks for coming, guys. As usual, as always, be safe, wash your hands, sanitize, wear your mask if you're going out in public. Thanks for another episode. Thank you, Toots, for popping in. So tomorrow night, guys, let's go and do our research, find out how much money we spend doing what, get some facts. Okay, Google if you have to, check out what books are available that we can discuss or talk about or advise each other about our finances, how we're going to survive and get out of this lockdown and job losses, and companies are closing down, people are being retrenched, some people are still lucky, have jobs. So let's make it a dope episode tomorrow. Let's let it be informative and funny or whatever, but let's have some takeaways from it. And I'm gonna have some guests. Hopefully, my friend Karabo will agree, because we spoke about this and we spoke about going home in December and the economics around Black people going home instead of going on holiday in December, or when they do go home and spend money at home. As opposed to when we go to Cape Town and we're spending all that money paying for overpriced accommodation, parties, yada, yada, yada. So we'll discuss some of these things. And there's a guest I'm going to go and try and find who has written a book titled I guess it might be Money and Black. I'll find out what's the title of the book. So her name is Busi Selesho. I'm going to try and find her and check if she can be a guest. And then we can discuss this thing, this problem that we have. I'm just letting Tenjiwe know I'm going to wrap the show. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Gogo. My sound was dodgy. I think we had a good show, guys. We had a good show. Thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourself. That's important. Rest, relax, get enough sleep, drink water. drink vitamins, immunize your body, eat well. Yes, I'm craving peanut butter and jam just by saying eat well. And good morning. See you 10 p.m. tonight, guys. I will try. Gerald Mwambidira. Thank you, Rudy, for your contribution and all your questions. Thank you, Tate July. Nightmares, black people and money, no snaking. Thank you, guys. Sharp, sharp. Like the late Vuyombuli would say. Sharp, sharp. See you tonight, 10 p.m.